Okay, so
Fair.
for those of you who are just joining us, we are about to kick off the State of the Stream podcast, which means that we have to do a very formalized intro because this is going to exist in other places than just Twitch. This is going to be live on YouTube. This is going to be live on your various audio streaming services. So we need to make it very clear, crisp, concise, beautiful, and delicious.
Loud noises.
And if y'all see any lag in anyone's cameras, I have no way to control that. So I just saw Rodgers hitch like a motherfucker there, and it's fine. It's just it is what it is. We're doing our best. Formal intro. Good luck with that. Hey, you know what? You know what? All right, let's do this intro, and we can get rolling with this because we have a lot to talk about today, and I want to make sure that we're able to cover as much as we can and answer any questions that come through. All that good stuff. So. This is so weird. It's so weird to do this formally. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our soft relaunch of the podcast, formerly known as the Simple Exposure Media, or SEMP podcast. We are now formally the State of the Stream podcast. I'm Spooky Deer. I'm a Twitch variety streamer, a certified day job registered trademark hater, and legal guardian of a very special skeleton. I am joined by my co-hosts, comrades, partners in crime, dear friends, the Rodgers Academy, and Echo SEM. They get to handle their own introductions because I am only so good at these things. Echo, how about you take us away?
I am Echo, photographer of all things nerdy, from cosplay to cards, Twitch streamer of survival and crafting games and retro cards, and the one with only one weakness.
I did not get to write my intro, so I get to read off of this title card here. Hi, I'm Rodgers, and wee wee, pee pee, poo poo, baby go, wah wah.
You say
That is
like
what was
we
written.
you say like we put a gun to your head that you couldn't write your own, when how many times I've been like, oh, take a look at this document. I'm gonna make you say something stupid if you don't write anything in here.
Okay.
There's at least a week.
I'm the Rodgers Academy, and I am a nerdy variety streamer who likes to just chill and play games and watch a ton of movies. So I am knowledgeable on all things in our current horrific pop culture media.
God bless. All right. As we're diving into this, this is going to follow roughly the same format that the podcast previously did, but we have some housekeeping items that we want to take care of first, different introductions and everything. So we record this live for a reason. One, it's because it gives me permission to not be super polished and go off the seat of my pants with all of this, but it also is because everyone who is in chat right now is a valuable part of the conversation that we're having. We follow a rough outline, but this is, your time to ask questions about, what it's like and what we're doing and kind of what's happening behind the scenes as we're putting our respective streams and content and art and all of that together. So we're going to be doing our best to keep up with chat as well as kind of follow our own flow of discussion. So stay active in there. There is like a channel point AMA that you can redeem, which will probably help queue things up so I don't miss them. But without further ado, we got some additional announcements to make. And I already covered one of them. So I'm going to let Echo or Rodgers take care of the second announcement on our little list.
Which one's that?
The second one in the housekeeping list. Echo's like, well, 17.
See, here's the thing. We have these color coded, right?
It's true. I will give him the credit, but
I usually will do the green ones. Spooky's usually doing the blue ones. Rodgers does the red ones. And
killing me.
These ones are orange, and I'm like,
First off, it's yellow, and second off,
while we debate the housekeeping, plans to rebrand the Discord.
Thank you, Rodgers.
That's the second thing. Not much to say, but we are really trying to maybe rebrand the Discord into some more, I guess. It's better to not for like marketability, but more for like, hey, this is our little pod, our little like home group community that we have. So we're just trying to figure out names that kind of represent everyone, but obviously the more people we want to get in, we want to feel like it's covering the whole umbrella. Not that Simple Exposure Media Community is a bad name, it's just it's kind of got a it doesn't really stick. It doesn't really work well for like a server. So we're just trying to kind of find something that is working for everyone and kind of is inclusive. And saying we're looking to add more members of like our like admin community, but you never know if down the road someone we say really represents and meshes well with us, so we want to add them in. We don't want it to just be under an umbrella that doesn't really fit them as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then part of that was our original thought process was like some of us were going to be picking up more photography, more video, more game design, or like digital design, and those things have kind of fallen off all of our spectrums as far as streaming and like off to the side stuff. So we're going to start focusing more on like the gaming and inclusion of all of that rather than looking at the work of the video and all that stuff. So that's, I think, one of the biggest pushes of us trying to rebrand us to a different type of Discord.
And Laguna is trying to call us out right now, saying that I should be calling it bland, but no, it's not. It's not necessarily bland. It's just it doesn't represent what the community, what we think the community has grown to be at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing. I mean, and we've also sort of diverted from what we originally started with, which, will likely happen again, but we're trying to get something that fits, like to Roger's point, something that's a little bit more inclusive and kind of fits and helps tie together our three communities a bit better with the common ground that we're all learning to share. Which, by the way, if you haven't joined, this segues perfectly into the next point on our housekeeping list. Also, welcome in lumps. Fail, you're a troll. Graphic design is my passion. Oh God. Oh no. Thank you, Rodgers, for the ! Discord night.
I knew what it was.
Yes,
I knew it wasn't Discord. It was Discord.
It's a Discord game night. Exactly. So, this week is completely different schedule-wise. Obviously, we're recording the podcast right now, and then if you are, watching this after the night that it's airing, and it's before Thursday, February 10th, join the Discord really, really fast, because during my usual stream time, Thursday, starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are going to be playing Golf with Your Friends with you, the community. It's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to bringing everyone together. And this is something that we've been meaning to do for a long time. And then, illness and all that going on, has held things up. So looking forward to getting everyone just kind of, in a more casual group chat environment, playing some games, and just hanging out and not having the pressure of this to make it successful. So, really, really looking forward to that. And then going into the future, we've got some other plans on the line with the three boys, and I think Echo's got some words for that.
Yeah. Dying Light 2 co-stream next Tuesday. The three of us will be doing a co-op Dying Light 2. We played around with it a little bit to get like intros done and start setting up and familiarizing ourselves a little bit with the game. And it's been a blast. And we were talking, hey, we should all one of these nights do a triple co-stream for that. It still stays on par with our zombie games too on Tuesdays. So,
good old Zombie Tuesday.
Yeah. Zombie Tuesdays. That's what it's rebranded to. No,
Zombie.
it's not what it's branded, but it definitely feels like it. But
It's certainly we've stuck very true to a theme without
they're just
it
so
being
fun.
Purposeful. It's true, and
No,
it's gonna be fun to have Rodgers in on those Tuesday co-streams.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think it'll be fun, three of us playing and game, and I think it's gonna be a good time where the game is going to take so much precedent that we're not going to be able to focus on like just having a good time and interacting with people. Because that's always kind of the worrisome thing when the bigger you get with playing with people is like how much are you going to actually be able to focus with your chat community space. It's definitely a concern I've always had.
This game is definitely going to be a little bit more focus intensive. I know like with 7 days, it's a little bit easier. It's a little slower paced. This one's hardcore parkour. So
Right.
we always got to be running, and so we probably won't be as chat focused. So
See, and
don't
it's
be
it's
offended
funny that
when
you
that
it's funny
happens.
that you say that because I disagree. I think that we're going to be
Really?
able to. I think we're going to be able to keep up with it really, really well because
I don't.
beca-
I'm terrible with chat to begin with.
well,
2/3 of us will keep it up.
2/3 of us will do great.
I
No,
will do my best.
And that's all. And that's all you can. That's all you can do. I mean, I think here's my take. So I did kind of a surprise co-stream collab last Thursday where I was playing Hunt Showdown with Stanky Pete and A Gloom, and that was a ton of fun. But Hunt is so intense because there are other players that are trying to kill you, and you're trying to like move through the map really quickly. And there's like a focused objective, and like the combat is very much like you hit or you die, and that's the end of it. So the entire time I was kind of like, haha, very true, chat, haha, and then just kind of being like laser beam focused until we hit the lobby again. In this game, the combat is less intense, and then or not less intense, but it's with three of us it's more manageable, and I don't think that running through everything is going to be enough to pull us away from chat. That's my hope. That's my hope. It's maybe a huge assumption.
Fingers
but,
crossed.
Right. But I think it should be a really, really good time. And I think I just realized I didn't even hit send on my go live tweet. So content, baby.
Well, let's just ask the question. How was your day? How was your day with work? Because obviously that go live tweet example of how your day went.
Exactly.
That about sums up the prior to the stream hitting live.
Yeah, my whole plan was to be able to get in to here early to troubleshoot, and I think this really kind of spills into why we do this podcast and what we plan to talk about is how do you balance just fucking everything and like putting on a good show and then still like keeping a roof over your head and managing these other aspects of your life. So long story short, I ended up working super late. I missed the bus. I had to cook dinner because Mrs. Spooky also worked super late and then also missed a bus. So we were just kind of like super off kilter trying to go into our evening. I'd been hoping to get on here earlier to do a technical check and make sure that everything was fine. That wasn't the case.
And I mean, I think like right now is a good example where we could see some hitching with the camera and other stuff. It's like, yeah, it's stuff that we'd like to figure out. But it is kind of how it goes sometimes. You just kind of because that's also just kind of the way technology works, and you gotta steamroll with it rather than just shooting yourself in the foot for the next hour because you didn't want to present this.
Exactly. And also pain that your mic and camera hitched midway talking about mics and cameras hitching. This is the cameras half the fun. But see, like, and this is something that I appreciate about the community that we've built up. And like, thank you for that, Laguna. People get it. Like you kind of just like we do our best, and that's all we can hope for. Glenn, we're not even playing a game tonight. However,
let alone with the controller.
Also, no need to be an elitist about it.
Oh my god.
God. Okay, but let me close that tab and we'll kind of keep going our way through here. So the general structure that we try to take with this is we talk about any news or updates that are coming up in the gaming / streaming world, anything major that's gone on. We'll talk about that, offer some opinions. I don't know. We're all semi-literate, and these two read the news articles out loud to me, and then I offer my thoughts. Saves me a lot of time. And then after that, we were going to go into the meat of this sandwich, but we'll get there. Chatting with controller, how grotesquely noobish. Just. All right, guys. So let's
it could be worse. He could be using a Wii remote.
Oh, maybe I have one around here. No. Anyway, as a bunch of gamers, look at us. Reading couldn't be me. He's got one. Oh. All right. Rodgers wins the content Olympics here.
I really hope the camera's hitching while I'm doing this. What's going on? Oh, what's this Activision based I mean, Microsoft buys Activision. That seems like a bad thing.
My eye, the infrared. Yes. Rodgers, thank you for the God. What the fuck? Why do you just have a Wii? You just have a Wiimote like within arm's reach.
What do I play
Wait,
on
do you
stream?
not?
What do I play on stream?
Dodgeball.
Wii Sports, I guess.
I play Nintendo stuff. I've got Nintendo consoles nearby.
But like the Wii? Like you're still.
I just moved. I knew where it was. If I didn't just move, I'd probably be like, "Oh, this bit."
I
is
know
gonna
I have
take
one.
me.
I promise I have a Wiimote. Yeah. But no, let's talk about this. Rodgers, it's highlighted for you, so you know.
As he just walks away.
He walked away when it hitched, so I actually heard none of it.
Oh,
So that was the great part. So
incredible.
Just like, let's, and then he just disappeared off camera from me. No, but you know, we're in a very interesting time where every company, it's no longer a console war, it's a developing like games ownership war. It's no longer about like, ooh, what's better, Xbox or PlayStation or Switch, or I mean PC is typically considered like its own beast.
PC Master Race.
I mean, as people have said for the past over a decade, but no, it's interesting. It's like, okay, Microsoft bought Bethesda like over a year ago, and we were like, okay, well that kind of makes sense. Bethesda's had some rough outings, and also like they're small enough where it felt like it was more just Microsoft saying we wanted to finally have some exclusives. But them buying Activision definitely felt like, ooh, look at this big dominant powerhouse with all these issues, so we can swoop in, and then now we get to make a buttload of money because we have the rights to all these super popular IPs. And then Sony responds with, let's buy Bungie, which used to be an Xbox company. So it's freaky. It
definitely has this like kind of like dick measuring energy with it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a total pissing contest of who can like print more monopoly money to acquire, you know, whatever's out there. You make an interesting point with the Activision acquisition, I guess, where I feel like that was not gonna happen if Activision's, you know, troubles and woes with, you know, sexual assault and harassment hadn't been impacting the company so much. Like if they hadn't had that bad press, they'd have been fine.
It clearly over the past year, their stock market, and I'm not here to talk about stocks, but the market on them. Stocks. We're here to talk.
To the moon, baby.
Monopoly guy. I'm the Monopoly guy. Let's talk about stocks in America and capitalism. No.
My word.
The things went up 3.2 points today. I don't know what it means, but it sounds good. No, but I really think that all the negative press around it, which affected the company's, you know, overall value and how they're perceived, they were like, let's look at selling the company so that we can get out of the mess, but also I think it was really Microsoft said, hey, you clearly are in a bad situation. What if we buy you and take a lot of this off your plate? Which is
let's bail you out.
Yeah. Which the CEO of Activision clearly is getting a golden parachute because he is a huge heart of the problem with that company.
Right. No, Dubs, this is an interesting take that I think I disagree with in one sense, but I also think I see where you're coming from. So Dub says it's a circle. New companies start up, grow, get acquired at the same time. Studios branch off from big corporations, go solo. Can have pros and cons to be sure. I just think seeing it as good or bad is shallow. I think, you know, we're definitely throwing it into like a binary analysis, you know, mostly for the sake of time and because nobody wants nuance in their Twitch stream. No, I think the thing that I see as bad or unfortunate about it is that this, you know, level of acquisition is kind of like unprecedented in gaming, but it has been displayed in other forms of media and entertainment, which has
like
Marvel and Disney. It's been
yeah.
super diluted. There's a real like lack of creativity and originality. Like the people that are making these top level money and acquisition decisions are, they don't care about the art, the quote unquote art of it. They care about it as a product that will generate more money, and they're going to make decisions such as working NFTs into games or working, you know, these different types of kind of like predatory behaviors into games so that they can potentially increase that bottom line if we don't cyberbully the hell out of them. That's the issue that I have, is that it's reducing creativity. It's you know, kind of building up this, you know, monolith of almost like heterogeneity in games. Like everything's going to become live service. Everything's going to become, you know, this is like my sky is falling scenario.
And
that it's just going to reduce the quality and variety that's out there.
And my thing, because Laguna just asked, was it just Activision Blizzard as in like one department, or no? Their plans to acquire the entire company, everything that has been under the Activision Blizzard umbrella. So World of Warcraft, Call of Duty being the two biggest. Then you get Overwatch,
Candy Crush. Anyone?
Candy Crush. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, Activision Blizzard King. So they got
yes.
King, which is Candy Crush. But no, the big thing I think that's really concerning is you know, companies becoming too big to a monopolized point, but also there's this good and bad aspect where one of the good things is maybe these 12 studios that have been forced to pretty much be relocated to be Call of Duty producers and like helpers to make whatever Call of Duty can now break off and make other games. Because that was the issue, is that the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 HD remaster was really beloved by people.
So good.
And then they took Vicarious Visions, who did that, and they said, okay, now you're helping with Call of Duty. They didn't say make another Tony Hawk. They didn't say, hey, like here's money to go make a new game. It was just come here and, you know, make you know, more help Call of Duty in its current state, help Warzone. And it's like, that's such a lazy, boring response. Just build whatever your Call of Duty team is. Don't just, you know, take your other studios and, you know, readdress them to other, you know, just to one IP.
So that's one thing that I was, when I saw that Microsoft bought Bethesda. So something that I was really hoping and looking forward to in that regard, and maybe they can do it with Activision also. With like with Bethesda now, they can focus more on just their games. They don't have to worry about like having the financial stuff. They don't have to worry about this, that, and the other. They can focus on hopefully just their games. And I would love for them to be able to, it'll either be a big umbrella thing like what Spooky was talking about, where the creativity is going to be taken away, or they'll actually be able to take the time and focus on a certain game, like Elder Scrolls 6, fingers crossed.
I love an optimist. I love it. I think maybe I'm just jaded, but like
I think
I think it depends on the company too.
I think this is really interesting. I think Echo's a little more optimistic. I think Suki's a little more pessimistic. I think I'm like right in that middle, where I think there's a cautious optimism, but there's like a lot of pessimism in there.
I'm willing to be surprised, but I'm ready to be disappointed.
Yeah, because I think for me, it's the aspect that, like, I think with watching what Disney's been doing with the recent Fox acquisition and all their acquisitions, is like there's been a lot of fun stuff they've made, but a lot of it feels the same. A lot of it feels like it's under this very one track, like, we're gonna get people in seats to enjoy this, you know, event film, and then we don't care about the actual quality beyond that. We don't care if later people tear it apart. We just want them to get excited, get their money, and then they'll hop off the roller coaster and realize that it made them sick.
Right. It's like, eat this gray sludge until you can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
I want to go back up to something that Dub said, but finish your thought, Rodgers.
Yeah. Oh, I was just saying that I think there's a lot of good that can happen. So if Microsoft takes Activision and they, let's say, once the deal goes through, they sack a bunch of the problem out of there, it's good. Make a healthier work environment. That's one of the key things. Get your people feeling safe to work again, feel like a lot of things have been addressed. But then after that, I think it really depends to see how they push forward with their IPs. Are they just going to make, here's World of Warcraft XYZ expansion that's just kind of already what was on the table, or here's, you know, actual like creative new content that's like really pushing the boundaries of like new ideas. And it's really just a wait and see. I'm hopeful, but I understand they want to do whatever sells the most units of whatever.
Right. So I want to go back. I want to reference something that Dubs brought up just to make a counter argument, because I think Sony has earned a lot of goodwill in the industry with, you know, different moves that they made, as well as just like the phenomenal like first party supported games that they make. So Dubs is saying, I wonder if it flatly limits creativity. I'm very biased, which I appreciate you know, acknowledging that. I'm very biased, but I see Bungie getting the full support of Sony, and I think all of the incredible things they can maybe now do, but they otherwise couldn't. But I totally get where the structure marketplace of games could fall flat then. See, it's like there is this potentially really amazing side where it's like, as these companies, you know, it's like as Sony and Microsoft are acquiring all of these divisions, that they may very well just say, do what you do best and like make really good games. But I also, you know, it's not too long ago that Bungie was one of those studios that they were a little upstart that went independent after they like, because Activision, this is the weird thing, Activision owned Bungie. Bungie broke off from Activision, became independent. Now Bungie is being reacquired by Sony. And I think that, you know, if it's not me making too much of an assumption, is like, you know, not a huge Destiny player, but someone that pays attention to the general vibe of how people are feeling about certain things. When Activision owned Bungie, there was that exact issue. Like the whole reason that Destiny 2 exists is because Activision said, stop supporting Destiny, sell a new $60 copy of a new game. And it's only become this sort of like live service supported like season pass type of method since Bungie has gone independent again. Like they were in development on Destiny 3 when Activision had the reins of the decisions that they were making.
I think something that Sony's really trying to do, and it's been reported, but I think Destiny, if you really look at it, is probably one of the few live service console games that's worked. I think if you look at the Division, you know,
Rip.
There's a ton of like.
I have a theory with that one.
Well, I think Destiny was one of the first ones to do with console, and even though it had it didn't have a great launch, I think it really stood the test of time because it was one of the early ones to get their foot in the door, and people kept coming back around, and it was a fun game. Like, even with its problems, it was still really fun to play. However, I think part of the reason why Sony also wanted to acquire Bungie is that it sounds like they want to start pushing a lot of live service games, and they want probably the best example of it in the past decade to be driving that market. So they have something that people are relied on and, like, you know, have a good amount of faith and trust into to then push new things forward.
I agree with that. And look at Glenn talking about Destiny right on topic. But how did they sell copies of games, Glenn? How did they sell copies of games? Okay. You know, I just wanted to get the discussion out there. None of us have the answers, because if Microsoft catches wind of this, we will be assassinated. So it's just, they have the power. But it's interesting, right? Like it's fun to see the people that are more in favor of it, or that are hopeful. And I think it's good to kind of interplay that off. And it's all about having a lively, spirited discussion. And I think Wes brought up a good point, and that'll be the last thing I say on this anyway, is that the Microsoft acquisition of Activision and the Sony purchase of Bungie are not a one-to-one in any regard. There's completely different management
monetary
styles.
Value alone is
absurd, absurdly different. What was the final purchase price for?
$3.6 billion for Bungie and
more than I could retire off of.
$68.7 billion for Activision, I think, is what they're trying to go for.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Oh, Microsoft just got a gifted subscription.
Oh, perfect. Welcome to the chat, Microsoft.
Want to buy us out?
Hey, it's like I would say. By the way, every person has their price, and mine. You can have me for the low price of $67 billion. It's a deal compared to Activision. Let's be honest. Think of all the positives that I have going for me. I'm not Bobby Kotick. Anyway, moving on.
Oh, but yeah, I think the answers for, and we just kind of watch and wait
and see.
Yeah, it depends on how tight both of them are on the reins of,
I think
the companies that they own. I think that's what it boils down to. If they allow them to create their own stuff and let them free roam the creativity, awesome. If they don't, then it'll show.
What's going on?
I'm sorry. Rodgers' camera hitched. Right.
All right.
Rodgers hitched as like, and the words just kept coming out of his mouth. It was everything to me. It was everything to me.
Okay.
But I thought you were laughing at me.
No, you were making a very good point. I'm sorry.
If you got a good show, if you listen to the podcast, and just be like, "Holy shit, what the."
I was saying, Rip Rodgers is the theme of tonight. You're having some issues, my friend.
I am, and I don't know why. Because we weren't having this the other day.
We weren't even having this earlier.
We had a perfectly normal night. We were having a perfectly normal night, but I was too scared to let them leave the call and rejoin.
Yeah, it is true. I did get off of the fix this.
Honestly, should we just take a moment and pause, and maybe both of you try leaving and rejoining, and I will just stay in the call because I don't seem to be having that many issues. Let's just do that.
Do I have any issues with that?
You've had a little bit, but it's not been as catastrophic. Okay. So let's just have you both.
Do you quickly want to switch to like your regular streaming just chat screen so you don't get this cursed image?
You mean you don't want them to see the behind the scenes image? That's fine. I'll go to just chatting.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like this is more for you than anything.
All right, leave and come back. Let's try to fix this midway. Turn it off and turn it on again. That's right.
Hello.
All right, you're back. Where's Rodgers?
Number 1 with number 2.
He's slapping his router right now.
Oh boy.
Need to use Microsoft Teams. That's why I would rather eat glass, Wes.
I've had good luck with Teams with my civilian job, like actual big kid job.
Although you call it your civilian job, love it. Just love it. Teams is the superior chat. Ugh. Zoom. I'm a Zoom baby. I love Zoom for video. In my profession, in day job spooky.
Okay.
Were you like resetting your router? What was going on there?
Don't worry.
I'm happy to report that it didn't change anything.
Is it still cutting in and out?
Big time.
Yeah.
But hey, the stuff stayed where it was supposed to. So we're just gonna.
That's what really matters.
Now we're arguing about day job communication platforms, which I am not going to entertain because I don't want to think about it.
All right, Microsoft Teams for the win.
Fuck that. No.
No, I hate Microsoft Teams. I just
Slack, baby. We love Slack.
You mean?
Sorry, would you like to try that again?
Slack Discord?
You mean
Slack Discord? Yeah. I'm so fun fact. This is the one thing I'll say about Day Job Spooky.
I like fun facts.
The one thing I'll say about Day Job Spooky, I'm applying for hella jobs at Discord right now, and if I get one, I am going to laugh so hard I poop my pants if they don't use Discord for internal communications.
It's Teams.
I almost want to get the job just to see what they use for internal. #supply bandwidth. Please send it. Please send Rodgers some bandwidth. Are you on Wi-Fi, dude? I love that he's just turned his camera off.
Hey. I'm giving you the frame. so it doesn't ruin everything.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You could always put your placeholder picture in if you need to.
Wait.
Eel guy, he's here.
Ill guy, mental health, help me pals. Social media grind growth makes me anxious from lack of understanding. Oh, we're getting there. We're getting
Slowly
there,
but
Ill
surely.
guy.
We'll get
But
there.
we have another general news and update to talk about before we get into the state of the stream of the state of the stream. So Echo, you have done something very, very cool, very impressive. And I have to say I'm proud of you for really sticking out this task that you gave yourself. So can you tell us more about it and also say what you did? Because I'm purposely being coy.
I am super excited. So I don't know if people can really see this going on right behind me here, since we're a little cut off. It's a screen with some blue or with some green and yellow right there. I finally, after months of talking about it, got servers running. I have an extra computer here that I've been just fiddling around with, and finally was able to get a 7 days server running. I had Laguna help me test that out, make sure everything was finally up and running and connected, and turns out it is. So super excited about that. So for those who follow our Discord and that want to be a part of our Discord 7 days world, we'll be setting up some stuff with that for everyone to join at their leisure.
It's awesome to me. So and the idea is that these will be persistent servers that are just going to be kind of like up and running. People can join into this long running 7 day server that we'll have, this long running Valheim server that we'll have, Project Zomboid. And the best part is we're not paying hosting fees, right? Like there's no third party involved. It's just, you just figured it out.
Yep. It's just me, myself, and and I'm paying the electric bill.
Which I guess, if you want to help contribute to Echo's electric bill,
not required, but
exclamation mark
would be thankful.
I say exclamation mark gang. Just give him at least drop him a follow for when he's live and streaming. Yeah. It's the least we can do. I'll also make a forest server if anyone wants to get into that. I love the forest. I've had a very good time.
I was going to say, what other games can have the dedicated servers, because I'm always interested to know what other ones I can be adding.
The options are endless from what I understand.
I also looked into Counter-Strike or DayZ. Might be some fun ones that might be able to do something with. I don't know, maybe Rust. I don't know if that one has dedicated server stuff.
Rust does have dedicated servers. I feel like I don't really care about Rust, not to go on a tangent about the different survival crafting games. I don't have a lot
for that one either, but
yeah, I think
I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that Rust benefits from being on public servers because the whole point is to kind of get fucked with by other people. So,
but see, Ark has the similar feel to it. It's just it has a bunch of dinosaurs, but I've had some of my most fun times playing on Ark as a solo server with just me and my friends. Right. Which that's definitely one I'm interested in, but that one I'd actually have to dump a lot of money into and have to figure out how to get either the Steam one working or the Xbox one working for the Discord group, essentially. Right. And so I have essentially 2 different Steam accounts right now. One is on my main computer, the one that I do the games on, and the other one has the servers on there. So I'm essentially buying all the games twice. As of right now, I have 7 days, and just announced earlier a little bit ago, I didn't even tell these guys yet, I just got a Valheim server working today.
Yo, let's go! I love Valheim. Rodgers doesn't give a shit about Valheim, but I love Valheim. I don't play
any of these games, but yay, let's go.
It's an achievement regardless. You should start, Rodgers. Why not? Why not play these games?
Have you heard of The Legend of Zelda?
What's that?
Can't say that I have.
I want to let you know, I as excited as I am, in the past 30, probably 90 seconds, I have tried to do so much bandwidth saver. So I hope it's working.
You are looking much crisper. I
Yeah.
was watching your face and I was like, my man's not here. He's here physically. He's not here mentally.
I'm listening, but I'm like, yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm just stoked that I got server stuff going. And the only time they're not going to be running is when I turn them off myself.
Right. Or if there's like a power interruption, I guess, right?
Yeah. And then I can always put an announcement in, our announcements in the Discord. I'm trying to figure out the best way to go about like running these because I don't know how many I can be running at once. So I may end up doing like a weekly or a monthly, quarterly, or kind of on demand by vote kind of thing, which ones I'll be running at what time. So the more different servers we can find that we can put to use, awesome. I would love to hear them, add them to the collection, and I think it'd be a lot of fun to run those for the group.
Totally. It's a big accomplishment because it's like technical stuff is hard, especially if you don't have a technical background, and like you have been talking about doing this for a long time and you've had a couple of kind of like false starts with the whole process. And I just have to say that I am honestly really proud of you because like I was not available to help out with this, which I know that for some of these things, like you kind of lean on me, which is fine. I'm happy to help when I can, but like I just wasn't
wanna know
around.
What the search is for port forwarding. I had no idea where to even search for that.
Yeah.
Everything I tried didn't work.
What was that thing back in the day where you could text a phone number and they would enter a Google search for you?
Wasn't it like the 411? Like you could like
it had like a name
number. Because that was like a thing back in the day where you could call the number to get like
you could call 411 to get get the times
Mm-hmm.
at the theater. But there was this different thing, and I can't. And okay, and Dr. West is saying that he's got space for servers. He can host. Oh, that's awesome. Cha-Cha. It was Cha-Cha. You would text Cha-Cha because you didn't want to use the internet on your like flip phone because it was so absurdly expensive. So you would text your Google question and it would go to this like hub of people who are just sitting at computers and they would enter your Google question for you and copy paste the first answer and text it back to you.
Dude, that'd be such a cushy job.
And it's one of those things where it's like a complete like relic of its time. Like it just like it filled this need for like 3 years and then it was completely irrelevant. But it's so fun. 20 questions, eel guy. Techno, how is modern day wizardry? That's honestly how I feel. And like to teach yourself how to be a wizard is pretty badass. So I just have to say GG's to Echo. Big hypes. Big hypes.
I now have level 7 computer wizardry. I've leveled up.
I love that. Yeah. So we'll spend some time in the Discord talking about hosting these different things. Sorry, there's a truck backing up. I don't think anyone else.
I was wondering what that was.
Oh, can you hear it?
Oh,
yeah, it was
very little.
It's very, very lightly.
It reminds me of like a buzzing sound for like the computers, like there was an audio disconnect or something that just just barely.
Anyways, sorry. Fucking A. Threw off my whole flow, stupid garbage truck at midnight. But what I was going to say is we'll have some discussion in the Discord. If it sounds like Wes has some servers that we can put up for hosting. Echo's got some stuff set up. I think we should be able to cover a pretty good breadth of things. And I'm kind of excited as that. Like, it's like I only have so much time to play games, but
when you do, it's nice to have that availability for everyone to like partake in things. So having these servers is huge. Like I've always wanted to have people just popping into our 7 days and just adding on or exploring on their own, doing other things. And now with a server, we can do this at any time.
Exactly.
And
I love
play
it.
at our own time and be able to see others progress. It'll be great.
Everyone's just clowning on Rodgers in the chat. They're like, oh, I thought someone was just building a new fiber optic internet connection. Get wrecked.
I hope this is just going to make me call the come out and find my strongest port and all this. Like, you've all just made it so now I'm gonna be super like
Paranoid about it.
Fixated on this for the next 60 days.
Yep. You got to get yourself like a 300-foot Ethernet cable and steal from whoever has the best port in there. Yeah, and you hitched right when you were saying that.
Because I have, I guess the modem and router is in my room. It is literally behind my computer right now. That's
Is
what's
it ported?
Yeah, it's all Ethernet. Like I have Cat 8 in there too. Like I have like the highest of highs you can have.
Dude,
He's doing everything he can.
I had to move my computer into my like loft area now. So it's going off of wireless, and I was super terrified to do that. But I'm running wireless, and it's fine. So I also found out that's the only way I can mirror my tablet and like my phone and stuff to the computer, because when it's wired in, like the Bluetooth and stuff is like turned off, and it makes no sense. But that's what's going on.
It's actually amazing that you haven't gone back to Ethernet. I actually thought that you would go back to Ethernet and you would only do the wireless thing when you needed to, but I don't want to, I don't know. That's a lot of background context that I think we're all lacking. So
yeah, it's a lot of back and forthing that I don't have time for.
Right.
And more cords. Fair. If I could show you this, I have a 50-foot Ethernet cord going from the old office, now other bedroom, going all the way down around to my work stuff here. I don't want to have two cords doing
when you tore your setup down, you were sending me pictures and it looked like a bowl of spaghetti just every time. Just the most cursed spaghetti on your desk. So
gotta love that spaghetti.
Now, can I be honest for a moment? It's just really
exciting. Please lie.
It's just kind of exciting for a moment where there was no hitching or cutting for like 35 seconds. I was like, is it working? It might be working.
False hope. False hope.
So it's false hope. I know. Just
pain. All right. Should we move on?
Probably.
Laguna, Echo has level 10 cord management skills. He has survived the gauntlet.
Santa Monica will just give me better internet. We just need to wait.
Oh my god.
Yes, they're gonna wire me internet all the way from California.
They're gonna lay fiber from Santa Monica, California, directly to your bedroom.
Yeah,
it'll be beautiful.
Because why not?
All right, shall we move on in our topic of topics? Clip of internet thing. DM that to Wes, Eel Guy. If you can, whisper it to Wes, he'll post it. I'm sorry that you weren't able to post that link. We trust Eel Guy.
Do we?
Yes.
I mean, I do.
I mean, he did make a video with you, so that
I like me some Eel Guy. It's good stuff.
But yes, I think we've gone past our little introduction, shoot the shit, the opening monologue. So
time to get into the meat. It's time to talk about what everyone's here for, which is our
salami, pastrami, pepperoni, beef,
you're fired,
chicken.
See, my favorite thing about this stream is
don't fake it. Don't fake it. As you're like, God. Okay. We're moving on to the state of the stream of the state of the stream. Okay. We're roll credits. We're doing the title. Okay. So in the past, when we would enter this segment in the SEMP podcast, we would, usually just kind of talk one by one about like everything that's going on with our streaming. And now, as we were writing this outline, we kind of determined that there were some major like through lines that each of us have been kind of dealing with. And that's kind of how we're going to structure, the next part of this conversation. So welcome to the state of the stream. Very cool animation that I have not yet made will play. Imagine, we're talking, I'm thinking about like all these different animations that we'll make. Just another thing that I'm never going to succeed on doing. Rodgers faking doesn't help anyone. I agree.
That's what all my exes say.
Oh, too real. Too real.
It's funny because it hitched then, so I don't know if it came through, but
It came. It made it. That one made it right on,
Let's
on
go.
through. Threaded the needle on that. So I think what we're gonna start with is kind of like at the heart of what this podcast and what the state of the stream segment used to really be about, and then we'll, poorly segue into the different main topics. But the first thing that we always talk about is the goals that we have. We don't do this podcast often, maybe ideally on a monthly basis, but it's tough if possible. But I think going at that kind of pace with this allows us time to actually see what's working, and try to initiate some of these goals and things that we're talking about. We can we use it as like an accountability method to check back in. Also, Wes just hit 100% with Glenn, and I don't have the alerts on this overlay, so we're just gonna do that instead. Just hide it. We'll just hide it. GG's though. So yeah, let's talk about goals. Let's talk about what we're trying to do with all of this content creation, streaming, whatever it might be. I want Echo to kick us off.
I can do that. First and foremost, I just need to stream more.
I agree.
Me kicking it off is perfect. It's hard for me to do more than that 4 times a month for whatever reason. So that's something I just need to strive to do more, whether it's playing some random game or like focusing on like my Dark Duel Stories thing that I did last time on my solo stream and filling out the spreadsheet. I'll talk more about later. The other one for me, or one of the other big ones, is just being more active on my socials. I have a really bad tendency to just kind of coast along. I like to see and watch what other people are saying and doing and keeping track of that. But I don't interact enough with like the Facebook or the Instagram or the Discord even. Just everything kind of in general. Yeah, Twitter.
I'm sorry. You mean, I heard Facebook. You mean the metaverse?
Yeah, sure.
Don't start, Mark Zuckerberg.
For me, that one's more for like the photography side of things. I'm just looking at socials as a whole.
Yeah.
The Instagram and the Facebook in general are just the photography aspect of my life. And then Discord and Twitter are more for the streaming and any other random games and stuff. So that's something I need to work on. Another one is my Dark Duel Stories spreadsheet. I have
actually
this,
sorry before you move on, can I ask you some questions? Can I ask you some questions?
Certainly.
Okay, first off, I was trying to make hearts and I did greater than hashtag. Sorry everyone. I'm trying to type in chat while we do this because I can't talk, because I'm not trying to talk over people. First off, Kara made a really good point for you, Echo, which I think all three of us need to hear, honestly, which is, you said, I don't stream enough for some reason. She says, for some reason, streaming is like a second job, even if you're having fun with it. Don't feel bad for not always being able to stream more often. However, it'll be great to see you live more often. Yeah. I agree with this. The reason that I pressure you to stream more often is because you tell me that you wish you did it more. So always take that from like a place of support, but I also understand that like we're all trying to balance work and life and paying bills and everything else under the sun. And a lot of that we're going to talk about down the line.
Spooky is also a right jackass and is selfish.
It's true.
Yeah.
Read me like a book.
Yep.
I've known him for like 20 years. I can attest to that.
You keep me around regardless. So
yeah. But no, I agree. I think it'd be nice just see you stream more. It is like, I mean, we'll get into it with me a little bit later, but like it is definitely, there's a lot of time commitment and pressure and other things, because even if the pressure is not like, oh, like I can't hit the go live, it's more, but sometimes it's just pressure because it's like, do I really want to be like, the energy I have right now, is this really what I want represented of me at the moment, which is a big deal.
Yeah, that's why even like the one time or the couple, I don't remember how many times I did it, but I was streaming the Dark Duel Stories ones. I didn't have the energy for like the camera stuff and being all, I don't know, energetic with the camera stuff, and just having that off seemed to take some of the pressure away, but I was still streaming.
Right.
So
And
I'll try to continue that maybe a little bit more
yeah,
too.
and I think some of what is going into it is because you've been off of it for a little bit. You know, you can get out of practice, and I think that you're still kind of trying to find what your presence is. You know, like what is the type of, you know, person and entertainer that you're trying to be on this. And that's one reason why I'm
Yeah.
like, you have to do it more because you're going to see what works and doesn't work for you, and then you can lean into those strengths and you can start playing with that. And you know, we've talked about this offline, and I think both of you kind of spoke to this, where it's like the examples sometimes that you have as people, as like other streamers, and like the energy that other people bring to the table isn't necessarily representative of what you're trying to do, but it can be really hard when you're trying to start off and all you can think of is like, oh, I should emulate X, Y, and Z.
This person, that person, or the
Exactly.
other person. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's I totally get it, and I wish that I had like the silver bullet to just be like, this is the path to follow and to do a good job. But really it is just kind of like I try to reflect back on where I started with this and like how many stupid fucking things I did and like how jacked up setup was and like how I was that same kind of like I wouldn't engage your chat and I wouldn't do all these different things, and it's just like it just comes with time. It just comes with time and trying to learn and trying to do more. Let me read this thing that Laguna said. It's a paragraph, so I need to scan it and then read it, but okay. Laguna says, right. As someone that used to do YouTube videos and a small bit of streaming over on YouTube, I agree with Kara. It is more work than many people think it is. Technical difficulties like what Echo has had in the past and things like that are outside of your control, like Rodgers internet taking a fairly large toll on your motivation to do it. LMAO, get wrecked, Rodgers. Because we all have our own standards of what we want to put out there. Sometimes you really just have to turn off our internal voice telling us it needs to be better and just get it out there, though. It doesn't matter how good the product is if it is never sent. And Laguna,
that's one of my problems, 100%.
That is huge. And I think that's the thing that I've been struggling with the most. Like, I don't know. I don't want to hijack this section, but that's the getting, like, putting it out there is better than perfecting it and never shipping.
Yeah.
Even a rough final stream or a rough video, if you put it out there and you put it in front of people, that lets you improve. If you never send it and you polish, you're going to turn it into nothing. So
anything worth doing is worth doing poorly.
Absolutely resilient. Because you can always be better. You got to fail upwards, but the only way to fail upwards is to attempt in the first place. So
going off of that though, with like doing the more streaming and getting to know what I'm doing, that's exactly the part of it. I don't know what I am trying to brand yet, which also rolls into like the Twitter rewards and emotes and things. I just found out I have some extra emotes that I can put out there, and I don't know what they should be. I don't have that brand or something to lean on. Like, for example, Spooky's Glenn's amazing. But that's not something I have a focus on yet, so I still need to find what those are.
And we all just want our own Glenn.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's definitely a work in progress. So I think just streaming more should help find those, if nothing else. Another thing that might help, at least with the camera stuff being on, I really enjoy having my server computer on in the background here with all the like code and stuff. So when people are actually using it and say I'm streaming, you'll just see a bunch of colors turning up and things. And I think that'd be
cool.
Really fun.
That's a fun, like, unique background thing.
Echo should have a Glenda.
The anatomically correct blow up doll. Hold on. I have a button just for this. This.
Oh my
man.
god.
It didn't work. Where's my shut up dubs?
Well, didn't you turn all your alerts off?
Yeah.
That's not an alert. That's part of the bot. That's the bot
Oh.
failing me.
Oh.
And then I want to have more stuff to fill out, like the background.
As is
Like,
tradition,
I think having
shut
this
up,
back here
dubs.
is awesome, but I need a little bit more to fill out the back here to have something a little bit more entertaining.
You need one of these $15 lights from Amazon.
Do you see this teal?
Nope, I don't.
No? Damn it.
I definitely thought that was just light coming off of the computer screen.
No, it's actually here I'll emphasize it a bit more. So I can even change the colors.
Oh, okay.
You guys on chat can't really see it much.
Oh, they can. It's visible.
A little bit? Okay.
Yeah. Huh.
But yeah. This was a cheap like $9 one from Walmart that I had a little while back, and I finally figured out a spot to put it because it sucks for lighting.
I'm seeing that.
I'm
so sad I missed it. Night has been all about doing your best. You're not actually missing anything, Resilient. We're right in the thick of this.
Yeah.
We're talking about everything. We're talking about doing our best. We're talking about our struggles. We're talking about making Echo stream more.
And
I got 2 more points, and then we can
roll to Rodgers.
Go down the line. Yeah.
Rodgery Dodger.
Poor Rodgers.
So how many points was this? Doesn't matter. Another one was learn to manage the servers and computers better. We got to start with the 7 days in Valheim servers. I want to be able to expand on this stuff. I'd like to help manage the Discord more. I want to be more of the systems guy of our team here. So that's something I want to work on. And then finally, the Dark Dual Stories spreadsheet. So some of you know this. Laguna Fox has been with me for this one. I streamed Dark Dual Stories. It's an old Game Boy Color game that for Yu-Gi-Oh! Every time you win, you get a card. Differs every duelist you fight. I've been going on, I don't know, like 1,000+ duels that I've been recording every single card that I've won, and trying to get the pull rates and things for this. And I want to find a way to bring that to our community for those who may end up having an interest in joining or just want to see stats of a game. So that's another piece that I'm trying to figure out.
I dig that. There's so much. I want to help you figure out a way to make this spreadsheet thing something, because to me it's like no, like, don't take this in the wrong way. It's so fucking lame. It's so lame, but in the best way. Like it's lame in that way of like, how many spreadsheets do I have? Of like, I have my entire like Magic card inventory, laid out in a Google sheet and sorted. And like, you're doing something really interesting, even if it would just be easier to data mine the game and be like, these are the pull rates. You're doing it from scratch, and I love the grind. I love it.
One day you'll have to stream some Forbidden Memories and show off that Pocket Duelist site I showed you. Yeah, I do. I think I have that actually favorited somewhere too. So someone else did something similar for Forbidden Memories. That was it a PS1 or PS2 game? I forget.
I don't know anything.
It's another Yu-Gi-Oh! One, and they also have like the pull rates. It's like 16 out of 4,168 or something out of that for all these different duelists. So that's basically what I'm doing for a different game of roughly the same generation, which I think is kind of neat.
Yeah. Il Guy, thank you for the 50 bits. Spreadsheets. Poggers. Is that a rage? Oh no, rage. Spreadsheets. Rage. And then my podcast command wasn't working, but then the Glenn timer came up perfectly and summed up exactly what the podcast is about. Anyway,
so true.
We call that serendipitous, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of serendipity, let's talk about Rodgery Dodgery's goals. And if someone could please crack open a cold one for me, I'm parched.
Crack open. Oh, you mean I on the stream?
Someone. Ah, thank you. Thank you.
Hold on.
You're too late.
I'm saying I'm cracking open one.
Are we all cracking open a cold one?
I just have a massive thing of water.
I am sponsored by Coca-Cola.
Coca blocker.
Carrot cake.
And crack.
Wow, you've got a really good noise gate on. I will put on the cat ears. I'm actually surprised it took this long. All right, Rodgery Dodgery, talk to us about what you've been dealing with stream and everything. What are you thinking? COVID.
What I've been doing with stream is, and
it's funny because you faked it, but you also did hitch for real.
I noticed too. I saw it too. I laughed a little bit when it happened in real time. Which actually, during Echo's thing, I some Discord sites, so maybe you'll be our friend a little bit more because it seems like it's been working a little bit better. Because I knew I was gonna have to be speaking more here in a moment. But to kind of quickly overlap, because I have some stuff here written, but that's kind of just general outline stuff. I got sick with the COVID-19 for the second time in my life. It sucks.
COVID-20?
I'm COVID-22 now.
Damn.
But no, the first week I had it, I was definitely like, I want to be away from the computer. I don't want to touch anything, which is the right thing to do. Just kind of keep my space away. And then the second week, I was like, I want to do something, so I don't want to just sit around all day. So I did, indeed stream, but because I knew, hey, having lights on, because like I have a ring light here, having all this set up, it's a lot of work. And if I start to feel tired or get like a headache, if I turn all these things off, it's going to prevent the headaches from coming. But also it's like, if let's say I need to end stream abruptly, I can just kind of close stream and then head to the bed or whatever, and just kind of like lay down. So it's kind of like a way for me to just, take it easy on myself. But what was nice is that, I mean, I don't like no camera, and I don't like no camera on the aspect of do this explaining and that explaining, and hitching is probably making this look really wacky. But but no, I enjoyed the fact that people were still hanging out. People were still, it didn't matter that I had the camera on. They were all just talking and having a good time as always. And it felt good to know that like camera on or off, people still stop by, which is kind of a good feeling, because you always kind of wonder, like, do people really care if it's just a video feed of gameplay?
Right. Well, I know Laguna cares. He's on all the time.
Right. But and I think that for your no cam stream, you chose a really good game to play during it. You played literally the most cinematic, wonderful thing. Like the God of War streams have been a lot of fun.
I thought you were talking to me with Dark Duel stories. No, I think God of War was way better choice.
So sis, Game Boy Color bootleg Yu-Gi-Oh! So cinematic, yeah.
Yeah, no, the funny thing is I started God of War on camera because this was my first stream back from moving, and then I got sick. And
Promptly got the plague, yeah.
So then I was like, okay, I guess I'll stream with no camera, which luckily worked for how cinematic the game is and how I can be quieter if it's a cinematic moment or whatever. Kind of works not having. But I actually did something similar in my Last of Us playthrough. Is what I would do is I would do something similar where, if something happened, I would just turn off my camera and then turn it back on. So I could, let the moment kind of breathe a little without me just being like, right.
Staring like, that's pretty cool, Kratos. Yeah.
Like, no, the Last of Us was like something horrific was happening on screen, just like, cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
So like but your BioShock or Uncharted would be a couple really good examples of doing something like that too. Those are more cinematic ones too.
Yeah, and I mean, I have no problem being on. Like, I'm always, like, moving forward, it's going to be camera streams just because I like having it on. Because I have all this equipment at this point. It's like, that's a lot of equipment. But it's a lot of equipment that's just not going to use.
Not be running.
Yeah. But, no, I really, I I really enjoyed this past week of streaming. The fact that people were still able to engage, and I wasn't completely like lost without an audience or anything like that. It was a nice like kind of if things were all to go to hell. But yeah, I was just happy with the state of it. And to answer Laguna, I beat God of War middle of the night, like at a 2 a.m. stream I started.
Yeah, why have you been streaming at demon hours? What's that all been about?
I have European and Australian streamer friends, and sometimes you like to do a Euro international friendly stream.
I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
I respect that. It's really jarring for me though, because like I get up pretty early in the morning to start work.
Mm-hmm.
And I get up and then I see this push notification from Twitch. It's like, Rodgers gone live. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I like, I check to see if you're still live, and you never are. But I'm always just like, I do the math. It's like 4 hours ago. I get up at 5 a.m. and I'm just like, you went live at like 1 a.m. my time? Like,
yeah.
Or like 3. There was one time it was like 3 a.m. my time. And I'm just like, are you okay?
Hey, I have the energy. Just hit go live. What's the issue? I don't know.
It's like, if I'm going to be up anyway, I might as well do something with it.
Just do it. So recently I started to move on to more like things for the future. Recently I started a Twitch goal where if we get, funded through my Ko-Fi, which is a, donate to your stream or donate to whatever your creator service, you can, if we get to our goal, which is I think $550 for a new streaming chair, which mainly is because my chair is broken, so it doesn't really have like back support, because if I lean back I just kind of like flop all the way backwards.
Oh no.
So I need something better for like sitting for long periods of time, just better for my back in general. And so the goal is I'll do a 24-hour stream, which that makes Spooky shiver in pain because 8 hours killed him.
8 hours about put me in my grave. So the fact that you're going to do a 24-hour stream, obviously breaking in the new chair, but like,
worth
that
it.
sounds horrific to me.
Yeah. However, I will say, when we were doing this talking 30 minutes ago, Kara donated $25 into the stream. Hey. I was like, well, we're going to talk about it, so I'll wait to say something then, but I appreciate the donation there. So that was really much appreciated. We're 20% of the goal now.
We've got some cool people. We've got some cool people out there.
We do. Kara, is it Kara?
Kara.
Kara.
Kara? Have I been saying it wrong this whole? Pterodactyl, like pterodactyl, right?
Kara.
This is important. We're stopping everything. Stop. It's fine. She says it's important.
Yep. I'm looking at chat only.
I'll respond to both. But what's proper?
Okay, that just means we have to call her Dactyl now.
Kara.
Pterodactyl. And I'll mess it up every time.
Spooky, you are correct.
Yay!
Perfect. Hey,
nice.
Right for once in my life.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, so you've got this chair goal. What else are you planning out for this year?
I think, I just want to upgrade some equipment. I have a Wave XLR, which is a nice device for, really fancy mics. But what the mic I have is a USB mic, so it's not an XLR mic, so it's a fancy piece of equipment I have that isn't actually using fancy equipment. So that's a big thing, and so that's just the 2022 goals, is maybe to upgrade a lot of the equipment, upgrade the camera so it's not as like, it's fine, it does the job, but it doesn't have the most clarity that I like.
Get a Canon.
Get an Elgato stream cam.
I mean, I could get Elgato to sponsor me since I have all of their products.
You're in that ecosystem big time.
Yeah. But I think the two big things beyond equipment are I want to get that 24-hour stream because I think it'd be fun. And I think, either for like a year, Twitch affiliate anniversary, do a subathon I think it would be capped at 24 hours because I don't really want to like do an uncapped subathon because that's just like I have some people where they might purposely hurt me just to do something.
I hurt myself today. We have an AMA about cameras. If I can keep you from rolling too far forward with that, I also need to fix my AMA because apparently I set it so it doesn't have a text
box.
input, which I sort of got. That was the whole point of me doing that, and I really thought that I did it. So require viewer to enter text. Check. I'm fucking stupid. Okay, that's fixed.
Let's
Galaxy
go.
brain. So, Rodgers, since you're so displeased with your camera, what are you using right now?
I am using the Logitech HD 1080p C922 webcam.
Friend of the stream.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
It is actually the one known to be the streamer-friendly starter camera.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's kind of funny because a friend of the stream, Lutz Magoots, actually had been using that for the last like couple years on Twitch, and he just got the Elgato stream cam and debuted his stream with it today, and it is a remarkable difference in clarity. Like I wasn't convinced when I would just read about it, but that's almost sold me that I want that to be my secondary camera. But anyway.
Oh, and I guess I should go on that one too. I'm using a Canon EOS R. I also have an R6 here that I could, if I wanted to up the
What are you, a
quality.
photographer?
It's fucking overkill. It's like Echo has 2 cameras that could shoot a hole in the moon, and he's got just one just set up for his streaming, and it just blows my mind. Like your camera is like double the cost of what I'm using, and mine's a fine camera.
I was upgrading mine anyway, and instead of getting rid of it for like a quarter of what I paid for it, I'm going to use it as a webcam because I do actually use it for like video calls with I had some doctor's appointments, mental health stuff we can talk about later. And I think I have potential for like job interviews and all this other stuff. So having a good camera already built in and ready to go, it might be overkill now, but it'll certainly help down the road.
It looks very nice. You know, I mean, it's like, I guess I can speak to the same thing because I use a Canon 80D. And this was also my work from home setup for the last however long. So, literally like every Zoom meeting that I had, like I was the only person in high definition on like every single meeting. And like to the point, so like I managed some like undergrads and they eventually called me out on it. They were like, do you stream on Twitch? I was like, no.
That's what my doctors would ask too.
No,
like,
no.
Why do you have such good equipment?
It's like, let me explain. I am a professional. Good question though, Wes. Very on topic. Thank you. Well, I'll answer Dubs' really quick too, even though he's trolling. Yeah. I can't believe I'm encouraging this. But what is everyone's favorite Destiny 2 exotic weapon? Mine is
Red Death.
Mine is Hard Light.
Hard Light's a good one. I'm trying to think of the scout rifle that I like to use. Trinity Goal. No, it's the bow. Trinity
the
Goal.
bow. That is very good. Also, the new the grenade launcher from the last season that I played. Anyways, Rodgers, keep talking about your goals. I'm sorry.
I was like, we're
not doing that.
Echo, how if I'm gonna cut you off here if it takes you too long to think of the.
I'm sorry. I have a loss for words. It's
fine. No, it's all good. I was just like, no, we're not talking about Destiny 2. But no, I have those goals, which is I think I want to do a form of a subathon. I think there'd be a cap, but it'd be more. It's not expected that like we'd hit the max of it. It's just, there has to be a cap just in case. I have some people within my network of people that like to troll and throw in unseemly amounts of subs and other things to torture people. So I have to be, unfortunately, aware of the generosity of trolling. which I know it sounds so weird, but it's protect my own health in that case.
It's-
'Cause
it's
you don't
not
want to feel you don't want to feel guilty because like if someone puts in a bunch of money and then you're like, whoa, I can't, like, we've gone too far. It's like I don't want to like feel like I'm just robbing people.
You need to cap it. You need to cap it
Yeah.
for your own good because like uncapped subathons, like the people that I've seen that have done that, the one amount of preparation and like I don't know, like ramping up to it that they've done to be ready for it is not sustainable and like almost unless you're doing this full time. Like
Yeah.
if you're a full time streamer, a full time content creator, I think you're used to like long hours at the desk and like staying entertaining
Yeah.
and staying engaging. But like, and not to say that you wouldn't be, but like you would want to die by the time it was done.
We'd have to call you Rodgers.
Rodgers.
No, but I think that's like the two things that I would really like. I mean, the 24-hour stream is based on a chair goal, and then when I get the chair, we'll plan something out. I think my plan is, it's not confirmed, but like it's either we'll just have a variety of games, or what we might do is we might just try and kind of not speed run, but challenge to see if we can play through all 4 or 5 Uncharted games in that 24-hour span.
Wow. That's a fun hook. I
would
like
keep
that.
you busy though. That
Mhm.
that would make you want to keep going.
And I not confirmed because again, it's how much I want to die. But I think if we're nearing the end of the 24 hours, I might set a secondary goal, which is no matter what game. So, like, let's say I just started Uncharted 4 or Lost Legacy or Uncharted 3, depending on how long it's taking. But, like, you know, let's say I'm starting it and then it's getting near the 24 hours and I can just end stream. I might set a secondary goal, which is, you know, get to this amount and I'll have to finish whatever game I'm playing.
I like that as like an extra push. You know, it's like you're right nearing the end, and it's just like if it happens, it happens. If someone throws a little bit extra at it, hopefully I'm awake at that time. We're gonna ruin your life. Yes,
yeah,
Tom
I
Holland
think-
is playing Nathan Drake, Laguna, in the Uncharted
It's
movie.
just when they have more unfortunality is Mark Wahlberg playing
Sully.
a war crime. I think it's a war crime.
I think that's. I think Holland is going to be big later on. Like I think he's going to
He's
be
big now.
He's already the biggest.
No, as far as like young actors go, I think he's going to end up being like transitioning to like the Brad Pitt or like those big, huge actor names when they're
I think
30s, 40s.
I think he's getting burnt out. I think he's getting exhausted by that whole like grind.
The Marvel machine.
Yeah. I actually kind of feel bad for him. It sounds like he wants a break.
I don't blame him.
No, me neither.
But
Anyway.
no, that's kind of like the goals right now. They'll obviously adapt and kind of get there. I want to get to, 1,000 followers by the end of the year, which I think is very doable, especially since I started mid-year. Last time around, that was when you're starting out a little bit slower and smaller. We're almost to 400 followers, so I think that's but I would say beyond that, I think the big thing is this is probably the biggest goal. Get a schedule. A streaming
That schedule.
A streaming schedule.
Imagine Rodgers having time slots.
Tuesday night, 7 days? What?
No.
Gun to his head, he would take the bullet. Yeah.
Yeah, but the Tuesday night Dying Light is going to help.
Next Tuesday.
Yes. That will help get me into a mojo of things. I think there's not like a workshop confirmed schedule or anything at the moment, but I think what I'm trying to go for is have a scheduled day that is your campaign game, a scheduled day that is your co-op stream or like collab stream, and if that doesn't happen, it's another campaign night. And then because like I was like pretty big into like the randomized Zelda community, have a third stream of the week be a randomizer. So you do 2 campaign nights or 1 campaign, 1 co-op, and then a randomized stream. So you kind of you're you're still in that variety content, but you have the ability to kind of outwardly not be stuck in the same rut forever.
It's guided. It's like guided
Yeah.
variety. That's actually
Yeah.
something that I aspirationally would like to achieve as well. I mean, it's like as the only person with a consistent schedule right now.
Out of the three of us, yes.
Yeah, it's like I think that I've been doing an okay job with the 2 days that I have. I would like to start taking advantage of my Wednesday mornings again, but I keep having day job meetings on my day off, so I just keep charging overtime and then not having time to stream. So
Yeah.
that's been the downside there, but like I agree with, you know, I think 3 is the sweet spot. I think 3 days is the sweet spot, truly.
And it's like I think it's also something to really get into is I think canceling is an okay thing. I think we always feel bad about canceling because like there is like that pseudo like we feel like we're someone's like checkbox, not like in a bad way a checkbox, but like at the end of the day it's like, oh, I get to tune on my favorite program, and canceling kind of goes like you feel like, oh no, I'm taking away someone's like.
What do you mean Wheel of Fortune's not on? Yeah.
It's been on for 50 years.
My fucking show, yeah.
Yeah. And I'll say like I'm happy and content with myself, the fact that with how wildly I'm streaming, the consistent viewership I've been able to gather with that, because the fact that people don't have a time slot with me are still showing up is a pretty big compliment, I guess. But yeah,
Laguna. Sorry.
Acquired bad habits. Oh no. But no, I think that's gonna be. I think I'm gonna try and get the schedule kicked off with at least the end of the month with Elden Ring's release. I
am very looking forward to that one.
Yeah,
That's
I think
gonna be a good one.
I think Elden Ring coming out is going to be a good way to like be like, all right, here's like what we're doing. I think the only problem that might occur is I might like it too much, where I'll just want to keep streaming more and more, and I'll be like, no,
my schedule.
Early 24-hour stream.
Right, it's like Rodgers will be live for like 76 hours straight, and it'll just spontaneously combust on camera.
Yeah. But no, I think the
Wes.
But no, I think the big thing is get scheduled, have kind of these planned nights so people know what to expect in some, realm of possibility. I think I want to get some new channel rewards and kind of like bits for the stream, so it's there's some new freshness in there, kind of like how you've been doing Spooky, where you try and kind of add some things here and there just to kind of keep it somewhat new, not
right.
like you need like a big overhaul, but it's just something new to engage people with.
So sometimes I wonder, just like on that topic, like with like channel points and like adding those different things, I sometimes wonder how much I personally do it for the audience and how much I do it for myself. I think more often than not, like I think I make stuff because I'm like, that's funny, and I just do it because it's like a way to like teach myself something and make something happen, and then people do or don't give a shit about it. That's fine, but I agree with like that. Push yourself forward with it.
Yeah, and I think like so just kind of finishing the thought process on like the schedule and new bits and all this stuff is like that's where it's like I want to have more collaboration streams, because I don't want to just be it's just me all the time. That's why I'm excited for the Dying Light 2 thing. I think it's going to be opening a door for more stuff to go down, like, because I have other people who will say, hey, we should do this, hey, we should do this. I'm like, yes, we should, but the time and the place and the setup, I'm always kind of like, that's a lot. But I'm reading the last note here on my little like cheat sheet, and I love this work on new emotes and sub badges. I actually have new sub badges and bit tier badges, and then also new emotes. However, I got put into emote jail.
You're in emote
because
jail.
I'm in emote jail because I uploaded an animated emote of a pickle shaking his ass because I have this whole bit with my community because I hate pickles with a burning passion, and I was told you should get this emote because it'd be really funny and it's perfect. It works perfectly for your channel, and I put it in and it was there for like probably 40 hours, and then
Enough that I got to see it live, and it made my life. Yeah.
and then I removed it. And no, I didn't remove it. And then it was removed. And then I was like, huh. And then I went to my emotes page. And then they were like, you've lost immediate upload access. You cannot change your follower emotes. There was no warning. It was just complete rip out of my.
I wish they'd give you a warning on that first. Before they
especially with it being a first offense, like that's the thing. Like I never had an offense like that before. It was the first time uploading like new animated emotes. I should have gotten some form of, hey, we gave you instant access, but hey, this might not be appropriate for us. So it's like, okay, cool,
it'd be fine. Yeah,
but just having things stripped away, it's like, oh, I guess this is gone.
Just the emote was so good, and I'm so glad that so many of us got to see it before it was like taken behind the proverbial barn and like executed. But like,
I will say, if you have 7TV, like if you have the BTTV 7TV Franker Face like extensions, it is on 7TV. So when you type in pickles with a capital P on my chat, it will show up. But again, it's only on my channel because it has to stay exclusive to me. But it's at least. It's somewhere there. It's pretty funny.
It's still usable. It's just like a complicated way to get a follower emote is what you've done with it now.
Yes. But no, that's like, it's kind of nice to have some new things, especially some more like display badgy stuff. Hey, like thanks for support. Here's a nice little like piece of NFT history for. I'm joking, but here's your little piece of history for you.
Oh no, my tokens, they're fungible.
No, I hit left click and save as JPEG.
Oh my god. Talking about emotes really quick, I'm just like putting off talking about my own goals and fears and everything. Was it today? Today was a whirlwind. I can't remember if it was today or if it was yesterday. I don't know if Eel Guy is still here, but there was a very spirited discussion about emotes and emote culture on Twitch and in Eel Guy's stream. And I don't have much to add about it other than I thought it was a really interesting conversation about the different schools of thought. And Echo, I'm saying this for you if you weren't in that stream, because you're talking about like, how do I think of branding and what am I trying to do with like the next steps and everything. And I think that Eel Guy had a really good perspective on things and like the way that he tries to make his emotes. His are very, very intentionally made, even though they're like kind of out there and wild and wacky. Like he tried to stick to like the branding and theme. Like he edits photos on stream. Like that's his main shtick. But everything that he made based around that wasn't immediately just like, oh, this is from a photography streamer. This isn't from a graphic design. This isn't from like an artist streamer. It was like the angle of, hey, this is going to like subtly reference that, but I've made the emote usable in a way that people will want to use it in other chats, in other streams, in other communities. And I should just find the timestamp in the VOD and send it to you, because the conversation was really, really interesting, because there's this duality, right? Like there's the side of making a really, really unique emote that does not have like a shared like widespread memeable context. It's not the Pog. It's like, there's not PogChamp. There's not the Keck W's, those types of things. It's purely unique, but it still is like usable in larger context, or like there's like key points where you can drop it. Or there's like the side that you lean into, which is kind of like what I've done with the Glenn emotes, where it's like these are universally understood or like, riffed on concepts, which fit immediately into that larger Twitch vocabulary of emote
like Glenn
culture.
Hart.
Yeah, Glenn Hart, Glenn Hype, like the very classic type of things, and which makes them more widely usable in in other streams. And like the statistics on the fact that Twitch is now finally sharing emote statistics is really interesting too. So I could see how much my emotes have been used. And like the hype emote, I'm not like a big fish, but the hype emote got used like 20,000 times this year. So
Damn.
that's a lot.
Wow. I did use it a lot.
Same.
Glenn, you coy motherfucker.
Rodgers knows all the time is rough tonight. Ooh, baby. Tell me more.
I hope Glenn donates to the Ko-Fi.
Oh my God. I'll find a way. I'll talk.
Yep.
I'll talk with his
yeah,
legal guardiants.
Wrapping up my little subchapter here before we get into the meat and bones of your subchapter. See, I'm the man is using it up. There we go. We're getting those data points. Oh, we're getting the deads in too. Upgrades, people. Upgrades. No, but I do have a poll going on in the Discord for the next game we start. Right now, Portal 2 has a sizable lead in the voting. It will close tonight, but if you haven't voted or if you want to add some votes in, you can. It is in there. Yeah, if you're not on my channel, you just got to go to the rules and roles, hit the film clapper, and you can go to my announcements and add the emote that you want to vote for. But yeah, that's just what I want to say is that we have our next game. It looks like it's going to be Portal 2, but it could change by the end of the night.
Portal speedrun versus West?
No.
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 All right. Rough and dirty segue into Spooky's goals.
Hey, Spooky, what are your goals?
So I have so many. I have so many goals. My goals are numerous, endless, and all in my head.
Eat more Cheez-Its.
Weirdly enough, not one of my goals.
See, then they're not that numerous.
Drink more PBR. Yes.
Sponsorship
from PBR. Yes.
Hey,
that's
a good goal.
It's an
unwritten goal.
It's a meme. It's a meme, but also like pay me. Anyway, being serious talk about what I'm trying to do. I have the typical like I want to push my setup kind of to the next level. I think I'm at the point where I want to try to up the production value a little bit more. I'm considering getting either the Elgato Keylight or Logitech did just release like a budget version of the Keylight, which is more appealing to me in the sense that it is cheaper and it's actually it doesn't get as bright, which to me, I just think kind of fits the proximity of my setup and everything a little bit better. But I want to get more lighting. I'd really like to add a second camera. And I also want to get a cam link of some sort. Right now, my Canon EOS or my Canon 80D is hooked up through their EOS webcam system, which locks me to 30 FPS when the camera can do 60. I would just really and it also gets like kind of fucky sometimes when I try to do more unique things on the stream. So I'd like to get the cam link set up so that I can expand that. Be able to mirror it more easily, kind of do like the silly zoom ins that everybody does, as well as have the higher frame rates, especially for when I'm just in my chatting scenes. And I think that will help when segue into trying to do more. I guess the term I've been seeing thrown around is like evergreen content. I'd like to be doing more things that can live at length on YouTube. I've been kind of off and on my like short form content game. Like I had a good streak where I was posting a TikTok and a YouTube short every day for 10 days, something like that. And that was effective. Some of the YouTube shorts especially did really well. Like I now have like my own unique URL on YouTube because I have enough subscribers now that I was able to stop using their gobbledygook one.
Nice.
I love that you have goal Spooky, but Glenn is absolutely going on one. Wait a minute. What is he talking about?
PBR, a man with that absolute alcoholic and dick. Tweet
So
number
true.
69.
Tweet number 69. You know what, Glenn? Thanks for derailing
Everything.
thanks for derailing my section. Yeah. But no,
But as Lugina says, what is this equipment you speak of for the people who don't know?
The people don't know streaming equipment, right? So, the key light or the Elgato, or the Logitech version of the key light is essentially like it's like a small, like rectangular panel of LEDs. So like
So think of a phone, but with a bunch of lights.
with a bunch of lights in it. So the idea is that it's supposed to cast more even light across your face to avoid like hard shadows, which is kind of what you can see on me. The only light source that I have in this room, besides the lights behind me, is a ring light that's about this big around. So I need I kind of want to have more fill lights in the space so that I'm better lit. Kind of like how Rodgers is. Like Rodgers has really good lighting based around his camera. So that's something I'd like to mimic. Echo, do you have an example for the? Yes,
kind of like that, but bigger.
Kind of like that, but bigger, and with like different color warmths and everything.
Yeah.
This one can kind of do that.
Yeah. But also to that point, the cam link that I'm talking about is essentially it's a USB 3.0 to HDMI converter. So it'll essentially allow me to plug my camera into a USB port on the computer, but it's still read as a video input device, and it is able to work under better quality. It's not frame limit capped. I'm not running a separate software program. It's just a straight in video feed instead of kind of going through like an extra piece of software. The ever resourceful Echo. I know he's always got an example. So the cam link is something I've been meaning to do for a while. Gooder quality. Exactly. I'm just looking for gooder quality.
Gooder. Like my internet.
That's
like your internet. Although in fairness, Rodgers is looking real crispy right now, and Echo is in like 480p.
I know. Now. I'm wondering what's going on.
I passed.
I was looking at that too. Oh,
there you go. Oh, and now you're back. Back to looking shitty.
Passed on the curse. Let's go.
We love the internet. We love the internet. Anyway, so yeah, those are the kind of like system upgrades that I want to make. #unblur. Indeed.
It's bad.
It's bad. It's really bad. You might just try dropping out and pulling back in really quick. I'll hold my thought.
Okay.
Oh, you're back. No, don't leave. Don't leave. Don't leave. You look good again. He finger on the trigger. Are you?
So it's having difficulties like auto tracing or auto focusing.
Ray tracing, Dr. Raymond Tracing, MD.
Sorry, my 3080 Ti is affecting this call.
Get out of here. Okay.
Actually, technical difficulties aside,
outside of system like stream upgrades and like setup upgrades, I'm trying to actually start spending less money on my setup. So something that I was quite flattered by, and I think is really cool, is Mrs. Spooky will never appear on stream. That's not something that's gonna happen for her. She doesn't want to be a part of it in that way, but she's still been very supportive of what I'm doing. One thing that she's helped me do is put together a tracker where I'm trying to keep a handle on certain metrics and things that I'm doing. And one of the big aspects of that is I am doing I'm kind of like out of like a running bottom line going on this stream. And now that my initial investment into making this whole production happen is done, I'm trying to dial it back a little bit because I'm still very much underwater in streaming between the computer, cameras, monitors, all the kind of stuff. I'm just trying to limit what I put into this whole thing, just to like settle a bit. So I want to be more creative with the hardware that I have. And I think one of the best ways to leverage that is to use it for more things. So I have all these great ideas. I think I have 15 partial scripts written for YouTube videos, and I just don't film them. I don't edit them. I don't take that next step. So if someone donates $10,000, I will quit. I'll give you your money back and I'll quit.
I will give half of it back and then quit.
I'll take what's mine and you can have the rest back. No, but I've been trying to find ways to work smarter on certain things. We talked about this much earlier in this conversation about Laguna made the great point of like, it's not worth doing anything if you're not putting it out there. And that's the story of my life with trying to diversify my content. I don't let myself output work because I'm convinced that it's not good enough. I'll spend so much time writing it. I'm like, wow, this is a really great idea. And as soon as I hit render on the video, I'm like, no one will ever want to watch this. Why would I ever even post it? It's pointless. And
just think back to the Minecraft holes of doom.
But see, that's short form content, right? That's that's the difference. Short form content can pop off, and it has. And I've had it happen on like marginal success rates over and over. Like short form, I'm feeling better about. I'm finding ways to lessen that workload for myself using tools like Streamladder, which is like lets you import a clip directly and turn that into like a TikTok format, download it to your phone, post it to TikTok, post it to YouTube Shorts, whatever it is. There's ways that I've reduced the editing burden on myself for the short form stuff, but I haven't found a way to do that without, to Wes's point, without paying for it. And you know, maybe that is something that I need to do. I know that there are some new resources that have presented themselves recently to me where I can get some editing work done without necessarily breaking the bank, but it's still hard to pull the trigger on that. I'd like to try doing it myself still. And my thing is I just have to let myself not be a perfectionist. And I think Rodgers and I have had this conversation a lot when it comes to editing, is just when you're the one doing all the work, you don't ever feel like it's good enough. But when Rodgers was my editor, everything he sent me, I was like, this fucking rocks. Let's ship it, you know?
And I hated it.
And you hated it.
I hated it. I was like, here, I'm like, are you sure you want this? Because I think this is crap. And you're like, this is great. And I'm like, if you say so.
See, I get that with my photos all the time too. So I totally understand that feeling. 100%.
Yeah. I wish
I think a lot of us understand. It's the whole like everyone hates their own voice thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone kind of understands the, oh, I made something, let me just judge it immediately and never let it have any time to breathe.
Exactly. Welcome in, Octi. Nobody's harder on us than ourselves. That's so true. And to Laguna's point, it's like that's why a lot of projects just die. There's videos that I've made that I've gotten 90% complete that are no longer relevant. And I think that that should be more painful to me than not hitting like send on a video.
Yeah, the publish button.
It's like if I don't let it go live, and YouTube is this constantly like churning, forward progressing machine where it's like, especially with what I feel like I want to talk about on my channel, like I want to do more stuff like this where we're talking about goals and things that you can do differently to try to, be the best that you can at this. That is changing constantly. And if I let a video die on the vine because I'm convinced that no one's going to want to watch it, then yeah, it's dead on arrival because I never let it send. So I don't know. I need to get over it, and I don't know how to do that. And that's one of my really big struggles. I'll bust out my DaVinci Resolve skills for you. Thank you. I'm almost wondering, so like we're joking about this, but I almost wonder if we should all just become each other's video editors and have final say on what sends for ourselves.
So everyone can so everyone doesn't have to be so like judgmental about it.
That
exactly.
might actually work.
I mean, there's something to it because Rodgers hated everything that he made for me, and it's still the best content that I've put on my YouTube. Laguna, that's a great. As someone who went to art school, I regurgitate my professor's words. Your harshest critic is always going to be yourself, and if you aren't your harshest critic, it is at that point something is wrong. There is an aspect that is useful to it. There is an aspect that's useful to being critical, but I also think that you need to not be a perfectionist to a fault.
Yeah.
So anyway,
There's balance there.
I think Wes is trying to put a like soft application in chat.
Wes, if you have the time, please let's talk. That's all I can say
Yeah.
is like I'm looking for solutions, because this is to me I think the thing, and this kind of this I'm trying not to segue into the next section of this conversation, but this is fuck the rest of my goals. It's gonna happen, because I think that the biggest struggle that I think the three of us face with the type of content that we make and the type of Twitch streamers that we want to be is being in the variety content category. You know, if we're not, especially because we don't, at least at this point, consistently play the same games through, maybe more so me than Rodgers, especially. Like, Rodgers has rolled credits on games on stream, which is cool.
Oh,
I can't deny it, but the struggle, and this is conversations that I've had with like other streamer friends, is like being in variety content, there's something really cool that happens. And the really cool thing that happens is that like all of these amazing people that are in chat right now are the like, you are the core. You are the core of everything that we do. But it's really hard to grow beyond that, because a lot of, I'd say the bulk of people that come to Twitch as viewers are like, I care about this game. And the first thing I'm going to do is watch the highest viewed streamer in whatever category that I care about. And that's just where they're going to stay. So for the people who are browsing around, they're still dedicated to that game. Maybe they want to watch smaller streamers, but if you don't stick with that game, you're not going to have the same retention and returning viewers.
There's a really good point there. And part of it is so the raid system on Twitch is a very wonderful blessing, because it's a great way of crossing communities, especially because, you know, someone finds your community from whatever, like, oh, I really like 7 Days to Die, I'm watching 7 Days to Die, and then, you know, they go to stream 7 Days to Die with their community, and then they raid over in the future, and then there's a cross point of two communities, and then, you know, they grow that way and it expands outward, and it's really awesome. But
that's how we got Laguna.
I know, like
exactly.
Like that, there was, you know, a few months ago, there was a raid that you got while playing 7 Days, where it was just kind of like, you know, out of nowhere, and it was awesome. But it was kind of like I guess this is what happens when you just search 7 Days and you look for people. But yeah, I think part of it is, though, is like for me, yeah, I was streaming Ocarina of Time as my first game, like just a regular playthrough of it as my first game on Twitch, and I went searching, and I, you know, found now a long-term like friend and supporter, Melody Loves Luna, and she's grown exponentially, like insanely fast. But the thing is that, you know, that whole community has blown up into its own like sub community of people. So it's just crazy how much like one game, searching on one game, can like explode an entire community. And that's kind of the scary thing is when you're trying to grow or be a variety streamer, it's super hard, because you almost don't want to leave that like community bubble that you built. You're scared that like, oh, if I do this, I'm gonna either alienate my audience, or it's gonna just like, I'm gonna lose. It's not like, oh, all I care about is views, but you care about like that people want to like still show up.
Exactly. And it's that balance, you know. I mean, it's like, and I think a lot of people are sounding off in chat right now for all the different reasons that they come to Twitch. And I think we all have similar hooks for why we choose to like be on this platform. But it's still that thing, you know, where it's like, from this side of the camera, you know, we're looking both to support and like help this community that we've created flourish, but also for it to flourish, we need to bring more people into it. And how do you make yourself discoverable? And I almost like, I hate like all the talk about discoverability, but I feel like it's also like critical.
Needed.
It's like, how do you make yourself discoverable while also letting it still be true to yourself, and showing people that are viewing this other content like, hey, this is someone that I want to hang out with and spend my time with. And you know, when you only have 4 seconds on a TikTok or like, you know, 30 seconds in a raid before people start dipping out to the other people they already follow, it's like, how do you make it so that you're welcome, but you also don't, to Roger's point, you don't alienate those people when you transition to something else. And that's the struggle of doing variety. But it's also the gift, because I think that the people that stick around are going to be there regardless of what you're doing. Even if you're trying to speed run fucking Pajama Sam poorly,
Let's fucking go, Pajama
let's fucking
Sam.
go. They're gonna be there, and they're gonna be like, I've never heard of this game. Let me Google a solution for you.
You rolled credits on Half-Life 2 and Pajama Sam and Goose Game. I'm calling you out. You've rolled credits on games before.
And they've all been, well, Half-Life was the accomplishment, I think.
Yeah.
Back with snacks at the perfect time. Eel Guy, we talked about you earlier, but welcome back.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, I think one of the big things about variety is that you just have to commit to doing it. It's very scary, especially when you find something that you like streaming and playing. You really
7 days.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, not to be like, oh, this is going to be like the one-stop shop, but like, if I wanted to stick with Zelda randomizers and randomizer content be my only content, I probably could, within like a year or 2 years, probably hit Twitch partner.
Totally.
Just because it's just such an easy thing for people to jump into. Hey, I love Zelda. Hey, I love randomized content. It's always fresh. You can like make it exciting. But like, that's not like, I get burnt out. And
Right.
I will get tired. And I will just be miserable. So even if I have, you know, so many people watching, I will still just be like, fuck me, like, is this all you just want to watch?
Right. It's like my heart's not in it. And like,
Yeah.
I think I learned that lesson early on as well, because when I first started, a lot of the streamers that I watched were Escape from Tarkov streamers. Everyone that I referred to as like inspiration, big or small, was playing Escape from Tarkov, and there's a certain way to build that kind of content. I was like, I'll be a Tarkov streamer. And then I started streaming Tarkov, and I was like,
No.
maybe not. Maybe this isn't the path forward. But that still helped inform me. And I think that there is something that you can take out on that. And Octi, that's a good point. Like, people will pick up on that unconsciously. Like, if you're not having a good time with what you're doing, if you're not keeping it fresh for yourself, it's game over. And this is kind of the struggle that I've had, is I'm like wanting to push myself towards like more narratively focused games. Like, I want to play story games because this is kind of like my dedicated time to play games. But I realize that like when I'm having the most fun and I'm making things that I'm proud of, it's when the game is more dynamic. Like, if I'm not following something linear, I like when I can accidentally cut down a tree and drop it on Echo's head. I like when, you know, just like the most random stuff can happen in a game because it's not pre-scripted and I'm not following a predetermined path. And
That's why I love 7 Days or Valheim so much.
Right.
They're very open-ended and anything can happen.
Right. It's like, those are the kind of things that's like, while I don't want to be mainlining a specific game, like, I think it's helping me determine kind of like the flow that I need to go with. And, you know, I'll try to force myself to do stuff outside of that box as well, but you gotta find the kind of niche that you fit into. Hold on, we have some paragraphs in chat here that I want to try to pick up on. Dub says, tough too, so many more streamers and viewers on the platform. Twitch can only do so much to get folks out there. Diversifying to other platforms, as you've done, seems key. I agree with that. You have to diversify to be found. There are more viewers on Twitch than there are streamers, but the way that Twitch sorts people is predominantly by the people that already have the most viewers. So it's very much the like, you know, the rich get richer kind of thing. And I don't have any resentment towards that, because, you know, people who have a big viewership are going to automatically be seen as the most credible if you're going to watch a game for a certain reason. So I get that. What's this Co-Carnage point? I need to read this. This is something I heard from a bigger streamer I'm sure you've heard of, Co-Carnage. I love watching his stuff on YouTube, and I firmly believe in it. You have to enjoy what you're doing because the audience will notice the difference sooner or later. Streamers having fun, it's more fun for the audience. Usually. Always the parenthetical usually. So I always say you have to do what you want. And I think it's important to hear that from your audience as well. You know, I think it's important for for you all who are watching other streamers who are also struggling with these things. I mean, it's important for them to know that you're there for them. And it's easy for us to convince ourselves that you're not.
Yep.
That mental voice definitely screams louder than your own sometimes, for
Yeah.
sure.
Right.
And I think there is, especially when it comes to playing games, because you're still, at the end of the day, you're still playing games on the internet, and you're always just kind of have that back of your mind talking point that's just like, do people care what I'm doing, or do people care about, like, there's that blend of, do they care about me, or do they care about just the game? Like,
Right.
which one is it? Because like, if they care about the game, there's probably like XYZ amount of people they could go to. So they must care about you in some aspect to like see you play the game.
And I'll never not be amazed and thankful for that, because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I'm just a guy with a skeleton in his second bedroom, you know. But I think that some of these challenges, and Echo, you've got a point here on our super formal outline that I want to hear you speak more to. It's like there's a challenge to supporting the variety content, but you also say that like there's an issue to keeping focus and sticking to a plan. Can you talk more about that?
Oh boy. I don't know. I have a hard time trying to find schedules just in every moment of life. So the only thing I've been able to really stick to over these past couple of years has been our Tuesday night streams, minus the rare occasion of like a roommate moving in or whatever those rare instances are. In order to like stay focused on things, having that consistent schedule. That's something I feel like could also be a big thing with the variety streamers, or just small streamers. Is you got to stick to that plan and just keep with it, whether people are watching you or not. You were talking earlier about having a core group and then trying to grow bigger. I would rather have just that small core group if they're going to be the only ones that actually care. So I don't know.
Fair. Sorry, I'm launching a poll right now that I'm trying to work on. So Rodgers, you have some thoughts on that?
Yeah. I would say, I think there are two good mindsets when going into streaming and just content creation and anything like that. I think if you care about growing and getting to like partner status and all of that, yeah, you're going to want to focus on getting your content out there and people like growing and getting, people seeing your stream, seeing you live, interacting with you. You want like your community to constantly grow. But if you just care about, hey, I'm playing this, streaming this, and I have 1 to 4 people just interacting, just hanging out, and I just care that these people are like these, small group of people are having a good time amongst themselves with me, whatever. If that is like A, the validation, but B, just kind of like what you're going for, strengthening those bonds and strengthening like your content and like community around that is perfectly fine. I think that's a perfectly healthy example of like how you want to approach things. It's just that I think me and Spooky, kind of on this level, we want to grow in the aspect of not getting burnt out or feeling like we're doing something wrong. I think we get into the, if we're not growing or if we're just kind of plateauing, we're clearly like we're doing something wrong. We're doing something wrong and we're not doing enough, and we need to constantly, shake the bottle to make it more interesting.
See, and for me, my thought process is if I have like Spooky, Rodgers, and Laguna, because Laguna's always seeming to be in my chat too. As long as I have like a couple guys there, like paying attention, having a good time, just hanging out, and enjoying what we're doing, that works plenty for me. My biggest fear is streaming to no one and Spooky and I have talked about this before. So turning off the people viewing thing has
Oh my
helped.
God.
Like with
Yes.
yeah, we've done that a couple times. Like with my Dark Duel Stories one, I stopped paying attention, just started just playing the game and just going with the flow. And Laguna popped in eventually, and it was a good time.
Right. Word of advice for anyone who is a small streamer, a big streamer, thinking about streaming.
Turn that off. Don't pay attention.
Do not have your view counter visible at all. And this is coming from someone that thought it didn't matter. I thought that it didn't affect me. I don't have a view counter visible on my screen at all anymore, but I still for a while kept on my stream deck I had a little button that would refresh occasionally that would say, you have 10 people watching, you have 5 people watching, you have however many.
Yep.
And I did not think that it had as big of effect on how I perform on this stream and how I choose to carry myself. But the second that I hid that button in a folder, I seriously, I feel different. I can't quite explain it, but I just know that not having my eyes glance down and be like, oh fuck, like I must have done something totally wrong. We were at 10, now we're at 6. It's like maybe someone had to cook dinner. Who gives a shit? Like people are still there and hanging out. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But like you see big number go small or small number go big. I think even small number go big is even more
Terrifying,
daunting, because you feel a need that you're like wow, there's like twice as many people as I'm used to here. I have to
super entertained.
learn how to juggle or do something. And
well, there's a great clip. I'll fish it out from somewhere. It's early stream of me. I got raided by a group of 30 people. This is me when I had like 3 followers. I was playing Ocarina of Time. I leaned all the way back, vibing, just totally relaxing.
I remember this.
And then I saw the number go from like 1 to 2 viewers, and I'm like, hold on, like someone's here. I kind of got like spooked out, and I'm, kind of now trying to act more like serious streamer, like content person, and then the person's interacting with. I'm confused because they're speaking in BTTV, but I have no idea what BTTV is at that point. And then, boom, rate of 30 people come in, and I'm just like, oh my god, I have no way to like react to this. And like, it was great seeing that. It's great having the moment, but it's like, it was the fact that beforehand, it was literally watching a number go from 1 to 2 made me like seize up and be like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do?
Right. Also, the star of the show has arrived, to Laguna's point.
Yes. Sadie. Sadie. Wow.
We love Sadie. To Roger's point, I recently saw something on YouTube that was a very unrelated topic, MMA fighting. However, it applies to a lot of different things. Top performers in almost any kind of competitive aspect is that the people that are outcome independent tend to do better. As soon as you care about what the outcome, you'll be put a weight on your shoulders and others don't have to fight through. Getting that frame of mind is definitely easier for some than others. Yes, outcome independent. I like that terminology.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The cat goes. So does Spooky. Wow.
Just don't be naughty.
The podcast is on pause because
we're
of the cat.
We're unhinged. Yeah, things are coming unglued.
No, but no, I personally think the turning that number off does numbers for your mentality when streaming, and it's still something I struggle with, because I think when I was playing God of War with the camera off, I'm like, I could look at that number, no one would know, no one would see my eyes dart over, no one would see, like, I could just look, I could have these numbers up and no one would know. But I'm like, why would
I could just cheat, I could just take a little peek just to see what's going on.
Yeah. But no, it's something that I really do try and I keep off and keep away from, because I think when you have it on, big or small, you just start you start getting in your head about it. You're like, oh my God, I'm either getting this dopamine rush because a ton of people are watching me and I must be doing something right, or I must be doing something wrong, or no one's chatting. I guess I'm really boring.
Right.
Yeah.
When sometimes people are just gonna hang out. Like I
Lurk.
think I've become more of a lurker the longer I've been on
Oh,
Twitch.
I've become such a mega lurker. It's so hard for me to like do the chat because it's like if I chat someone's gonna want to have a conversation. I'm gonna be like, I'm so tired. Like I just want to support. I can't chat for too long.
I understand that also. I've either been lurking or like I see the notifications, like especially while I'm at work, and like I want to tune into this guy or whoever. Especially sorry, Eagle guy. I've been kind of absent on his as of late because I just start getting focused on my work and just wanting to listen to music or having just something else on in the background rather than me wanting to like actually pay attention and hang out with people on stream.
Yep.
So I feel bad that I don't do any of that stuff more.
S- And like, this is gonna sound like a platitude, but I know that everyone feels the same way, and I think that goes for all of us included. Don't feel bad for lurking. Like how many times throughout my day do I have like 3 streams pulled up? The tabs are all muted. I'm there. I'm counting. I'm trying to watch, but if I'm not like necessarily actively participating, do not feel bad about that because that is still huge. It's
Oh yeah,
huge.
I lurking is a huge thing, and I mean you've said it ever since I started watching you. Lurkers are the make the backbone of Twitch, which is very true.
Yep.
But it's the aspect of like just because you're lurking and not chatting doesn't mean like you just don't care about like obviously you care because you care to use data and bandwidth to open up your browser on them. If you really didn't care, why would you have it open in
Right.
general?
Why would you have notifications turned on in the first place?
Yeah.
You know? So it's all worthwhile. And like chatters are a small minority in the scheme of Twitch, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Chatters are huge. You do so much for like making us like feel validated and like helping us produce a good show and do what we do. But it's also
Laguna.
like, yeah, and
Shout
but
out
also
Laguna.
shout out Laguna with these paragraphs. But this is good. This is good, like thoughtful
Yeah.
stuff. Like,
Yeah.
like to Laguna's point, like one of the reasons Laguna, went to stream on YouTube rather than Twitch when I first started doing content. I knew with YouTube, maybe nobody shows up for the live event, but somebody might see it and enjoy it a week from now, or a month from now, or a year from now, because how Twitch is oriented, they are the leader in streaming because they devote their assets to live streams rather than VODs. Absolutely. And if I can jump back up into our goals discussion really quick, and then I wanna talk about kind of
No.
like the big. Well, okay.
I
I guess
guess over.
I guess I'll just quit then.
Bye everyone.
Yep, bye. It's been a good show. No, but speaking to that VOD thing, this is something that I have just kind of been sitting on for a long time. I record every stream. I've recorded every stream since I started streaming on Twitch 2 years ago. Basically, well, I should say since I got my PC, I've recorded every stream because Twitch doesn't hold on to VODs past like 90 or 120 days, maybe. So I wanted to keep a record of that I could, I think my initial thought was like, oh, I'll create a highlight video out of every stream and it'll be so cool. And I have all this free time and I'll turn a 4-hour stream into an 8-minute video and then I'll print money. It's not how it's worked because I have not edited a single one in 2 years.
Nor have you had the free time.
nor will I ever is the fact of the matter. Nor will I ever. My life is only going to get more complicated. I'm only going to have less time. But
Let's talk about the job search.
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about the job
No.
search right now.
No. It's like let's talk about how hectic your life is outside of Twitch.
There's a lot of variables going on. So the fact that I make it here twice a week is a miracle in and of itself. But I have all these VODs, right? I have 2 years worth of VODs, and I feel like there had been a lot of advice going around for a while where people were like, don't upload your VODs to YouTube. Nobody gives a fuck about your VODs. Nobody wants to see that. And as I've been thinking about it more, I'm like, maybe that advice makes more sense for someone else, but I'm strongly considering uploading every single VOD that I have in date order with a title. Don't trim it down at all. Just make sure that the audio is as good as it was at the day of recording and put it up. And I'm thinking about doing it on like an unlisted playlist. So it's not necessarily like I'm not trying to force it into the algorithm. I don't want YouTube to think like, oh, look, this person is like, posting 4 hours of content constantly. Nobody's watching it. Like we're going to drive down engagement. I want to put it in an unlisted videos, but put it in a playlist that's visible on the channel. So people who come to the channel can watch the stuff if they care to, but I mostly just want it up and there as like, I do this. I stream. I'm proud of what I've done. Look at how I've grown. I have this like, someone else is storing the record of it for me. And to Laguna's point, like the reason that Laguna streamed on YouTube in the first place was the whole idea behind like this VOD will live forever on YouTube. Whereas on Twitch, they are just shoveling content out the door as fast as it's coming in. So I feel like, I don't imagine that it'll solve this like discoverability problem. I don't think that, Joe Schmo from, Pensacola, Pennsylvania is gonna watch my VOD. I don't think it's ever gonna get served to him, but like, I still
Joe Schmo might care.
Joe Schmo probably does care. He probably does care, but like he doesn't. But I don't expect it to be the thing that makes him find me. But I still think I want it up there, and I just don't know what.
I think also like. I mean, obviously, I have probably a backlog of videos and stuff, but like, even if you just started now, where it's like, all right, obviously today is a podcast, different thing, but like, let's say every gaming stream, you just upload the VOD that week, you put something out there, and you at least have it open. It might be the raw footage, it might just have all the, mistakes, internet hiccups, everything in it, but it's still out there. Being posted, even if it's just a huge uncut raw footage,
right?
And like the prior point that we've talked about before, if you don't stream, you don't know how it goes. If you don't post, people aren't going to see it. If you don't just throw it out there, it doesn't really matter because it's not going to be seen at all regardless. So if you throw it out there, at least it's out there and people can rabbit hole if they want.
Exactly. Also,
rabbit hole in chat.
Yeah, we're rabbit holing in chat right now. Kraus, thanks for talking to Joe Schmo. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Joe might be a prick, but Joe's there. Joe's the kind of guy who would take the shirt off his back begrudgingly for you.
Hey, I'm actually Joe. Let me face reveal.
It's me, Joe Schmo from Pensacola, Pennsylvania, a totally real place.
Yes. But no, I think, we've covered a lot of the stresses and mental like mind fucks that streaming can give to you in content creation. And it can be a lot. And I think that's kind of the challenge of a lot of the things going in when you hit the go live button. But I think part of it is just committing to your community that you've already established and just promise to never not be yourself. Like, even if you go to different games, different types of outlets, doesn't mean you're just completely abandoning your community as a whole.
And that's why we have a Discord.
Exactly.
Exclamation point Discord, exclamation point Discord night.
Discord night.
This Thursday, come play golf with your friends with us or just hang out.
Incredible plug.
Yes.
That was a really good point, Rodgers. And I think that the big thing is just don't forsake the people that you have around you for this like aspiration of like something different. Because for me, what makes this so fun and so fulfilling, and why, as I'm reading in our outline for the next section, why I haven't burnt out with streaming yet is because it's the people that I have been fortunate enough to have stumble into this strange corner of the internet are so amazing. And you're both
Yeah.
included in that. You're both. I mean, I've had Echo around for a long time, and Rodgers, I've known you for a long time. But like,
Yeah.
regardless, you're part of that overall essence and that overall energy, and that's a big deal.
Well, it brings a point of mine, which is I have a lot of communities I'm a part of right now with the Twitch world, and I'm trying to not forcibly bring them all together into one hub. Oh no, the hitching.
The hitch.
Hitching, I saw. No.
Mm.
I'm trying don't freeze it. Don't fake it. No, but I'm trying to cross the communities more. It's why I'm trying to do stuff with you guys on stream. It's why I'm trying to not just be like, oh, here's this community and this community and I can only interact them separately. It's like, no, they don't need to be separated. They can be one and together. And part of it is right now it's a simple exposure media community, but we have our Discord community. We have kind of the Spooky Deer Echo community, the Laguna, the Lex, Wes, everyone, all that. And then I have like my Team Voyage community, which is like my Nintendo randomizer, Mel, Gage, a ton of people like over there. And I'm trying to kind of bridge those gaps so it doesn't feel so disconnected, because I think that's also part of the stress. I feel like I'm trying to serve two different audiences at the same time.
And that's why Spooky and I decided we wanted to merge our two things together in the first place, is because we do a lot of things together. So it doesn't make sense to constantly be jungling all these different places all at once. Instead, we just bring it all together, and
Yeah.
it's been working great so far.
Yeah. And Rodgers, I think Echo and I were definitely a very natural like use case for merging. You are kind of like you're the wild man with this. You have this you make very different content than what we do. You play different games, you bring a different community of people in, and I like the challenge of trying to get the crossover with that, because you have some really, really cool people on the Voyage side, on the Nintendo side, and I think we're starting to see a little bit of breakthrough.
Just
with
a
that.
tiny bit.
Tiny bit.
Yeah,
But,
I think I've seen Gage interact on our Discord a
Yeah.
handful of times. And it's always nice to see a new face. And so actually, speaking on Spooky's note there, you remind me then of Eel Guy, because Eel Guy is a good intro to their photography, like strictly photography Discord and like fan base. He is a very like, I'll say, exception to that rule, where most of them are doing just strictly photography or videos or a particular thing, and he does like entertainment mixed with a lot of photos. So to put like the games and stuff in and get people hooked into that, and then he then says, hey, check out all these other people on this photography page, then that'll spread them more into that. So it's a good balance. And then what you've got is something similar, where you have all these really cool games like the Nintendo Legend of Zelda, and then you get the God of War, the story-based stuff, and then you're spreading that into our stuff, so to speak, into the more survival and the role sandbox type stuff and whatever else happens to be. So it's a good back and forth with the different getting your toes wet, so to speak, stuff on both sides.
And I definitely, so I'm in like a cajillion Discords. I don't interact in all of them, but I'm like in there just to like be like hey, I'm supporting your Discord, all this stuff. Sorry to those that I'm calling out right now, saying that like
I'm a face on the wall.
I'm in the right scroll where it just says this person's in this Discord channel.
I have a hard enough time with our own, man.
No, but like I'm in a billion of them. There's a lot I don't interact in, but there's some that I do. But like I was heavy into some other ones for a bit, and then I've kind of pulled it back and focused more on just ours, because it's like I need to start.
This is our baby.
this is our area, and like if these people care, they'll care to interact in here. And I think I just need to pull that more and more, because it's like I don't want someone else's Discord to be the Discord I go to like promote things. I'd rather be promoted within my own. And Pee-wee's here.
Hi, Pee-wee. Hi, Pee-wee.
She just got a triple shout out. Look at that.
I know. We're all just like, hi, friend.
Yeah.
Speaking of Discords that I wish I was more active in, Boomerville. Yeah. People hate. I don't know. I think that we've started to do something really cool, and I'm excited to see where things progress. The rebrand will help, I think, as well, just making it more clear with what we're doing. I don't know. I'm also
we're taking suggestions on that too.
Yes, we are.
It's not guaranteed, but ideas are always nice.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right. Messy segue about messy brains. I think, I always want to be like, oh, we'll be so smooth and we'll like transition to the next topic so seamlessly. And I've decided that it's just not on brand.
Hey,
I've been getting better.
I've had some moments where I've been like, here's the thing, and then we go into the thing, and then we talk about the thing. It's just that when you decide to segue, you're just like,
You need to give us a cue. You need to give us a cue when you want to segue, because one of us will probably come up with something at some point.
Or we'll at least ask you the prompt.
I like to shout segue. See, Octi agrees. It
Loud
works.
noises.
Spooky does the I turn now. Good luck, everybody else. Yeah. We all are looking at the same document. We're all looking at the Google Doc. Yeah, I've been trying. We talk and we go on tangents. We were on a good track. I had a good segue going, and now I'm just forcefully bringing us back on course because I want to talk about our brains. I want to talk about, everything that we're trying to do comes with a cost. It all comes with exactly. Oh, here, let me. It all comes with a cost, and
alcohol.
No, we all use what is provided to us.
No. Medication.
Booze. Bad booze.
Nope, it's good booze. It's PBR. It's phenomenal.
The best.
Sponsor us.
I'm holding up my bong. Fuck yeah.
Nice.
Let's go. Hey, I have one of those too. The meds or a bong or a beer.
Or all three.
Or all three.
Top shelf.
Top shelf. On a pedestal. But we're talking about how do we merge our communities? How do we drive ourselves to be the best that we can? How do we even just stream more? How do we post? How do we yell into the void that is social media in hopes that something cool happens?
Well, I to part of this point, so I have a trillion opinions in my brain that I want to shout into the Twitter void, which is obviously a toxic cesspool. But at the same time, it's me, and I want to state the opinions out there. But then I'm also but this is also my Twitch account, branding, and I don't want to just be that person that's just shouting. But then at the same time, but it's also me, and I want my opinions to be clear and stated. And it's just it is kind of a messy table there. And then also just with the state of the world outside of just gaming and this community based thing, it's fucking stressful and nightmarish at times. So it's just how do you cope and relay that so you're not just bottling it all up inside?
Right. Yeah. How do you I think we all want to be positive people, especially for the betterment of everyone that's here. But how do you also embrace the bad, How do you cope? You kill more zombies in 7 days.
Zombies in days.
Sure. That's how you cope, is killing all the Zambinos in 7 days. It's perfect.
Yeah. But it's a good point, Rodgers, and I'm not doing a good job at it. And I think this is the time to say mental health check. I don't think, I won't speak for y'all, but I am deeply unwell.
Yay!
And I'm making it work, and this is like these nights are like a beacon of light in the like day-to-day dissociation of working, you know? Like
I would hold up a heart, but that's just like a Facebook like to me at this point.
fair enough. Almost
So
everyone I know is
that's-
in some stage of crisis, even in meat space. Meat space. That's what I should call
Gross.
the day job life now. Meat
No.
space.
That's what we should call our Discord. Meat
The
space.
meat space. The meat space.
Let's put it under advisement. I think it'd be fun.
What's up, meat bags? Welcome to another.
Oh, because you know what? That's an inclusive. Everyone's included. Everyone's a sack of meat.
We got that meat sack, baby.
Hey, and I'm gonna slip that stew. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
We're putting it into advisement. I like it. But with that with the socials and that whole boundary that you guys were talking about, that's one of the reasons why I have a hard time with socials, is because if I say the wrong thing at the wrong time, half my friends or half my followers could very easily just say, I don't like that opinion, or I don't like how you said that, or this, that, or the other, and completely blocked me for something arbitrarily dismissive.
or like misstated.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Or misunderstood or whatever. People can take
there's
things
a
out of
blessing and
context all the
curse.
time.
There's a blessing and a curse to the internet, and part of that is the fact that, like, yes, people have a voice to get out there, and everyone's voice can kind of, somewhat be heard, but a lot of it can also be taken out of context and been
I
taken
like meat.
disingenuous.
I like meat. Meat is delicious, and then someone comes up with strictly vegan can just start hating on me, and then their whole community will start.
Oh no! Now the
ravaging
militant vegans in chat.
Okay.
Well, you know what I mean.
Obviously,
That's the first thing I can think of.
it's an interesting example, but yeah, I get it's the something stated and it can be taken out of context, and it can, but it's oh, god damn it, Pee-wee.
Meat, huh? See, it's happening currently.
But no, I
Meat shield.
I think also like I think part of, oh my god,
Go ahead.
but I think part of the issue is like, the trending section of Twitter is typically like the top 10 trending things are almost never great things. They always feel like they're here's
attacked.
what shitty thing happened in the world today, or here's what shitty thing this person did. And it's like, I get it. It's like, it's good to have that communication out there. It's good to have that, like, a way for people to find that stuff. But at the same time, it's like, you see it, you get exhausted, and you're like, why would I ever want to interact on this platform?
Right.
And that's one thing I'm thankful for me not knowing how Twitter really works, because I don't know how to check for that. So
And
I don't have any of that negativity.
And like, that's any platform you'll find. Like, it's not just Twitter. Just Twitter's obviously an easy go-to with how they're, marketed.
Right.
I just ignore everything on Facebook except for my photography stuff. So.
Oh, that's the best way to go about it.
Take it all with a grain of salt.
But no, I think that plus, like, whatever personal woes you deal with. So, like, Spooky, I know the day job is eating away at you. I know there's probably a lot of at-home life stuff that is probably eating away at you.
There's nothing behind these eyes anymore, Rodgers. There's nothing back there.
And that's the thing is, then when you go online and you see all these shitty things, you're like, oh man, the world is shitty too. So everything starts to kind of cave in. So it's nice where there's positives and all this stuff. Why am I holding my bottle of pill still? Don't worry about it.
It doesn't matter.
No. But it's nice to have the streaming community and have people that are like, fun to talk to and all this stuff. But there is an exhaustion, because, like, if you're exhausted and you're putting yourself out there, people are going to see it. People are going to be like, what's wrong? And you're like, do I want to open that book here?
Fucking everything. Anyways, it's like moving on. Yeah.
It's like, hey, I'll message you in Discord later, and we can have a video voice chat there.
Right.
This doesn't need to be on all of the internet.
Right.
Just our private internet. That's fine.
Our private.
Our private
Private
what?
what?
Speaking of being taken out of context, these
It said-
connectivity issues are not helping.
It said I said this private hitchy internet, and of course, once I brought it up,
Our private? And another marker goes into the
Amazing.
stream. Yeah, it's that simple.
Amazing.
this will be fixed for next time.
You say that, I would not be so confident.
I will make sure. The internet issues are like my biggest pet peeve.
Same.
But no, I think
Exclamation weakness.
mental health is a big thing, and I think mental health checking with your community is a good thing. There has to be boundaries. I think, unfortunately, some people think Twitch is just a space to trauma dump.
Which none of us, for the record, are licensed therapists. In fact, most of us need to get access to one ourselves. So
I am actually probably, out of the three of us, I am the closest. I have a bachelor's in community psychology. So.
I forget about that sometimes.
Yeah. But again, it's the fact. It is that fact that we people like to trauma dump, and it's not trying to call people out, but it's like I like to trauma dump as well to people. But you have to know, you have to read the room. Like, you can't just jump into a chat and say, "Oh, this person died," and then it's like the streamer now has to like acknowledge that, take on whatever weight, and then still keep some form of positive vibe, which is exhausting.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm wondering, should we actually have like a trauma dump section in our Discord?
Yeah, I've thought about it, but no.
Like we have the day job one. I don't know. It was just
I think
an
day
idea.
job is just venting about like everyone kind of be like fuck work. It's a common theme.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, this cool thing in work happened. I think when you have a trauma dump channel or like a therapy session channel, you kind of walk a line of people might talk about some very personal things that just shouldn't be as public in a server.
Right. And it also, like, by virtue of that channel existing and for us specifically being admins of that channel, I would feel a responsibility to be checking in on that, and I would shoulder whatever is going on in there. The cool thing, and this has been an unexpected outcome of the day job venting channel in the Discord, is that we have had a positive turn in there recently. You know, obviously we also have our gripes. We all have shit that's going on, but like we've had some big wins in there as well. And I love that channel has just been able to embrace both sides of that. You know, it's like Kara has had some massive wins recently. And I love seeing that kind of stuff. And like, I want that channel to be able to seesaw. A trauma dump channel would just be like, there would be I would have to program a command into the Discord bot to just say, this is worthy of seeing a therapist, and then just like having to remove myself from the conversation because I can't.
Or the other thought was like mental health check-in. Like they post the heart color and be like, I want someone to talk to. And then they can go to a personal chat between, say, you post a black heart or whatever we decide that means. And then you can say, hey, can I talk to you, Echo, in particular? I have some things to talk about.
Yeah.
And that way other people know how you're feeling, but at the same time, it's not public. And then you can make that knowledge chosen to a particular person.
Right.
Yeah. I think the biggest concern is that we are all admins of the Discord, which means we have to monitor and like kind of decide what is and what isn't okay to be posted. And also that means we have to take in whatever's being said, weigh that in our brain, and then decide how to go about it. And oh, hey, fail. And I think the big thing about it is that someone could say some really,
bad, dark thing,
sad, emotionally just, heavy thing. And when you like read that, you're like, man, I don't want everyone reading this and getting very like concerned or whatever. But also I want this person to be okay, but it isn't my responsibility to check on, like, it isn't my sole responsibility to take this person's like life into account and like feelings and everything. Like I'm gonna try and do the best thing, but you can't take on other people's issues as your own issue.
Right.
And I think that's a big thing. Like, I think some people do use Discord and people's communities as ways to vent, and when it's not warranted, it's just, I think it's a big like red flag. It's like you need to understand, like, this is still a place where people just chill and hang out and have a good time. It's not a place to just trauma dump and then make everyone kind of like go, I don't know how to respond, so I'm just going to turn very quiet.
Nope, I get that.
Yeah, and like, because this is the thing, and this is, like, knock on wood, we haven't had to deal with this in our community and our server. Oh, Eel Guy, that's very true. I haven't had to deal with this in my Discord, but definitely had people talk about morbid stuff during a stream. Like, I understand you feel this way, but might change the tone. Yeah, it's like there's a means of reading the room wherever you are, whether it's when someone's live or there space can be created for that, but that needs to be guided and set up. Like, the thing that we've been fortunate with in the Discord is we haven't had to deal with any real trauma dumping. We haven't had to deal with any really like brutal, like heavy shit to deal with. But I know that there are other servers and other streams that happens in regularly. And like, the fact of the matter is, even if you have an amazing mod team, an amazing admin team, you're still kind of like subjecting yourself and your mods to dealing with that. Like, even if you delete it before anyone else in the community sees it, you saw it, you had to deal with it, you had to process it and make the call of like, this isn't appropriate, or this is too much, or whatever it might be. And that's more than I've got on to take onto my shoulders right now. Like, I think the day job venting is like it's like the perfect balance, because like we're all gonna have ups and downs with it, and that's important. Let me read some of these really quick. Streamers are not your therapists. Unless they're the literal few people that I see on TikTok all the time that are actual therapists, that their content is based around being therapists. Even if I was a therapist in my day job, I'm not your therapist if I come to stream, unless I'm choosing to be so. There's a certain rapport level you'd want when asking someone, streamer or Discord acquaintance included, to do emotional labor on your behalf. Absolutely. There's been times chatters have come in and spoke a lot about concerning mental health issues, like wanting to die, wanting to harm themselves. It's not okay to take responsibility for making sure they're okay. Absolutely. I mean, it's like, that's so much, because it's like, we don't have the resources to do that. We don't have the resources to take that on. And as like someone who has dealt in very real world situations, both myself and like with people that are very close and important to me, and I have not had those resources available to me in very, very serious, like real world matters. I can't help you through a screen. If I can't help my friends in real life when they're in front of me, I can't help you on the other side. I want to be supportive. I want to be what I can be, but I also like, it can't fall to us. And it sucks to say it.
But I think it's important to state, because I think some people, forget it. Some people forget that like streamers are not like your best buddy, your best friend. They're not.
Well, unless they actually are.
Not to get I say not to get parasocial with you, but I feel like I've known both of you for years.
We're the exception to that rule.
I really think that there's got to be some boundaries in check, and I think there are better ways to handle those situations than just straight out like timing out a person or like going into any extreme. But it is like, there are places where people have an open communication channel, whether it's in their stream or it's in their Discord. But if that's what that person has decided to do, that's what they've decided to do, and that's their boundaries they've set. It doesn't, even if that's the first chat you ever got into, it doesn't mean every chat is like that. And when you do that to other people, it's like, you do not know this person at all, and you do not know what you're going to be setting off on them.
Right.
Got to dip the toes in.
Exactly.
Don't do a whole belly flop. That's bad.
Right. Meds check from Pee Wee.
Oh, the beer.
Meds check. Meds. It's closed. It's closed. Yeah. It's such a slippery slope because it's like, I don't know. We all want to be there for each other. We also all want deep down someone that we know can be there for us, you know? And I don't know where I'm going with it, but it's just like, it's hard. It's hard.
Well,
it's heavy. It's
when
a lot.
like just going on, you know, your own stream alone. And I know like we're all in one stream right now with the chat open, but like
Right.
it's, you know, if I'm in my stream, it's like, yeah, like there are people there that could hop in. It's like, yeah, I really care about this person. I think they really care about. It's nice to have that like communication and, you know, relationship there, but at the same time it's like you're going to have a lot of people you probably don't have that with, and it's you need to have those boundaries set because you don't want to start looking at, you know, your chatters differently between chatters, but also at the same time you need to like, I think you need to make sure that everything like in your stream is consistent on that boundary level, because if you know, make certain comments or remarks or storytelling with like a specific chatter, and then someone later brings something up and you're like, no, that's not okay. It's like, well, where's
What the hell,
where's
right? Like,
where's
what
the
have you
line?
done? Right.
Yeah.
Less
So
stocks in a match of Smash. Okay, so I fucked up all my channel points today, is what I've learned.
That doesn't
Sorry.
surprise me.
yeah.
Nope. But okay, the boundary setting thing, Rodgers. You're good at that.
Surprisingly, I'm very surprised. Like, I'll compliment myself there. I'm surprisingly good at like just calling it out and ending it.
Yeah, and I
Applaud
have been
you
getting
for that.
better. I applaud you for that for sure. And I feel like I've been trying to get better at it, mostly with you as like an inspiration. It's hard. I don't know. It's hard to keep the vibe right while also putting your foot down. And I feel like I've had some other really good examples of, you know, friends who are also in the streaming sphere who have had to do that recently, whether it's you know, people not reading the room or actively trolling, or, you know, I spent like an hour watching someone deal with like a ban evader because like the person came in, started being super rude. They were like, listen, this is pretty uncool. Like, I don't know why you're acting like this. Like, can we just like chill out? And the person kept being rude. They ban him. Person made another account immediately, comes back in, starts acting super rude. Same line of thought. Like
Yeah.
you can tell it's the same person. Like, listen, like this is so not acceptable. Ban. They come in a third time. Their chats aren't even going through to the wider Twitch chat because Twitch has identified them as a ban evader. And like, I thought it was cool because he chose to address it. He was like, listen, I see you in here and I'm sorry that you're like choosing to do this and have a bad experience, but like, this is not how things work. And you're not gonna see a lot of good come from this in your life if you keep doing this to other people on
That
this
just
platform.
sounds like too much work for me.
I guess to normal people it sounds like too much work. Like, why would I be this aggressively a dickbag and like this jackass and like doing this? But like that's just how the way some people are.
Yeah.
Some people feel very entitled to some things and feel like they can treat people. And it sucks. And I think for me, I mean, this is a while ago, but like Spooky was there with like the Last of Us series stream. I had to ban so many people.
It was
Like,
rough.
It
I was there
like,
for one of those episodes.
I was just like,
for sure.
I was just like, hell, like what? Like, why did this? Like, I get that this game has a toxic relationship with the internet, but the fact that like people like still just go into random streams and cause this issue is like, what the hell is going on here? And then, you know, I've had other moments with other just random streams, and I'll like putting a stop to it as fast as possible, but it's also just like understand. You have to like figure out how to read the person's messages at first, because sometimes people are just bad at communicating and they don't mean it a certain way, and you have to like you have to give some people a benefit of the doubt for a moment. And it's hard.
But not too many benefits of the doubt.
No.
Everybody gets one.
Yeah.
You get one doubted benefit, and then the hammer comes
immediately.
Down. My favorite example is it sounds kind of dickish, but it's someone like dumps a lot of stuff or just like completely changes the tone, even if they're not trying to be rude, they're just kind of like hijacking chat. It's just like, I thought we were playing that, like, I'm just a dude playing this game, like I'm just a dude playing the 7 days, like, can we, not to be that guy, but can we just play 7 days and vibe?
Right. It's like, can we get this back on the rails really quick? Yeah.
I've been working my day job for at least 8 hours. I just want to mindlessly kill zombies and build forts.
And talk to cool people about generally inconsequential stuff. It's today is not the day I want to hear about religious trauma. There will be space for that.
Yeah. Actually, I will say about adding channels to the Discord, like we have the day job venting, but honestly what we should have is like a sub channel to that is posting your dubs. Posting your W's.
Your JV dubs?
Yeah, yes. But like,
where is my shut up dubs button?
But posting your W's, because I think that'd be a good way of like positivity. Because then it's like, it's there. It's like, we have the venting for being like work sucks or whatever. This is what's going on at work. That's stupid. But like having the W's channel would at least be like, hey, but this really cool thing happened in my life today.
I like that idea a lot. Can somebody actually go in the remind me section of the Discord right now? And
I'll just write something really big right now.
Okay. Because I really agree with that, because it doesn't have to be work related even specifically. Like, I just want to know
just a positive thing that happened today. Like, I made a really good grilled cheese sandwich.
Oh, fuck awesome. Yeah. Hell yeah.
I got Mickey D's for dinner as well, Pee-wee.
I actually had Dairy Queen for
one in the same.
No, it was Hardee's. Sorry.
Part of the ship, part of the crew, part of the ship, part of the I am the ship, you are the crew, you are the ship, it's funny. I am the crew.
This is the second time Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End that's come into my head today.
Iconic, honestly, underrated.
Yeah. But
all together.
No, I think there's the mental health of the streamer, like keeping yourself in check. And I think there's also keeping the mental health in check of your community, because it's not the admin, Discord owner, streamer's job to be everyone's therapist or be everyone's watchful eye over everything, and it's not anyone in the community's job to be a therapist to someone. So it's just finding that balance so you keep both things together. And if you need to take a step away from streaming for a week because you're like, hey, it's been like rough and I just need like time to decompress and just relax, like that's totally fine. But I know I think sometimes for you, Spooky, streaming is kind of the relaxing point of your day, because you can be like, haha, I can escape from all this BS and just play some video games, talk with some people, and that's it.
Or like when I have Fridays off, this is something our friend Sloppy and I have done, is every time he would pause the game or something, we'd take a drink. That was a good time. With Half-Life, every time you paused the game where your picture was, it was F-Life, and we're just like, F-Life! Took a shot.
Yay! Let's go!
Let's go! Oh, God, that was so fun. And then I made Spooky drink a whole bunch that time, too.
Yeah, and that's why we have a cooldown on high... Yeah, we drank.
Every time you drank, we drank. So we were punishing ourselves, too.
And that's why we have a cooldown on hydrate now.
You learned the hard way about the hydration cooldown. I've seen people get that, so I immediately updated that in my stream a long time ago.
You're like, I'm not getting drowned today. You can't get me.
I have
Speaking of that, thank you, I am the man.
I have so many preventative measures.
Granted, we weren't the only ones doing.
No, it's not. That's true.
This actually, I think this is a good kind of wrap-up point for some things, but I've noticed in some other streams, some people kind of take advantage or abuse some of the neat tricks and rewards in people's chats. Like they go, it's like imagine like the Shadow Realm thing went off 24/7. The loud noise, everything. Like imagine if that was just spamming. Like people have done that with like TTS bits and like bit reward things and other things. And I think like yes, it's there as like a fun thing for chat, but when you start abusing it and you just start overtaking chat, it is kind of one of those things when you notice you're like, man, like I'm sure for the streamer this is miserable, but also for me as the viewer this is miserable because I'm like, why would I ever interact here? Like, why
Right.
would I? If I say hi and then my message is drowned out,
Right.
That's one of
because
the reasons why I have a hard time having anything more than like the hydrate, the first responder, and Echo Mom showing up. Because
Right.
I have a difficult time figuring out something that's fun but doesn't actually interrupt much.
well, and if you don't want anything to like kind of interrupt or like disrupt the flow of things, that's totally fine. It's just I think if people have those rewards, I think yes, they need to set a boundary of saying like, hey, there's going to be cooldowns or other things, but I think there's also the aspect of you should already just respect the fact that spamming might be not the coolest thing to do in the world.
It's like it's one of those things where it's like it's unfortunate that you can't rely on like the personal responsibility of someone as a viewer to not abuse those systems.
Yeah.
It's like you want to leave it there as like, haha, it's like a funny thing. Like you can make TTS sound like a sprinkler or whatever. And that's awesome. But like if I had that stuff going off all the time, like I would raise it immediately because it's distracting for me and it takes away from the intent of what I'm doing so that someone could feel that they're like at benefit to hijack the whole thing. And that would just be unfortunate.
Thank goodness there is a replay button like on your stream feed to like replay alerts, because I actually just have a quick button on my stream deck to mute alerts if it were ever to happen or if someone just kept spamming. I can just mute it because then it's like, all right, it's muted. Like unfortunately it's going to be muted for the meantime, so if you're wasting channel points or bits, I'm sorry, but like I've told you to stop, and if you're not stopping then you just get to lose out and whatever. But at the same time it is something where good thing there's a replay, because let's say someone was doing something and they accidentally got lost in the chaos. I don't want their message to be completely gone. So it's good that there is a replay option so someone isn't incorrectly punished for someone else's doing.
Right.
So I can't help but get distracted by what Glenn just said. Can we take a moment and just be disturbed by it?
This is not even the most disturbing thing he said about Echo Mom.
Echo Mom needs a lot of things into the office, like once a quarter, but dude.
Glenn, my dude. That's
No
not
more.
cool.
What was the thing that he had said before? Like he said that your mom was on the July cover of Playboy or something. I'm just like, who taught him this?
I know. So
Where did
bad.
Playboy and July cover and other things come into conversation?
I have no idea.
I don't know. A bunch of degenerates in here. I love them dearly, but they're teaching my bot weird things.
And
Glenn is
I am
having
the
a
man.
night.
For the record, that's one of my goals. It's to stream more so then people can redeem Echo Mom.
Someday.
Echo Mom.
So that you can get free pizza from your mom and she can be bewildered when she's on camera on your stream.
Again.
What a grift. What a fucking grift Echo's got going on right now.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so expensive.
Yep.
Before we wrap this, there is like one other aspect of like I want to kind of end on like a positive note on the mental health thing.
Yeah.
And it's just with something that I'm trying to embody more in both in like, personal, professional, day job, spooky life, as well as with what I'm trying to do with the content that I'm creating. And there's this idea of like self-compassion. There's been a lot of talk, for a long time, especially like we're all millennials in some way or another in our age bracket. there's been a lot of talk about like self-esteem for so much of our lives. Like you got to be really confident in yourself and to think that you're the greatest and that everything you do rocks. But if you fail, or if you don't succeed in doing the things that you think you'll be so great at, that can be a huge confidence blow. That can be a really big blow to like your identity and how you perceive yourself as a person. And I think it's kind of like the wrong way of framing looking at yourself and looking at what you're doing. We're all here with a limited amount of energy, time, experience, whatever it might be that is going to hold us back potentially from doing the things we want to do. Do I want to make more YouTube videos? Of course I do. Do I want to be posting more? Of course I do. But sometimes you get stuck and these things don't happen. And for a long time I was really like kind of tearing myself up on it, feeling not good. I'm like, it's like I could be doing so much more and I suck. And that's not the right that's the wrong mindset for ever being successful in doing this. So I've been trying to take an angle of just caring about myself more and like meeting myself where I am. And wow, I am the man.
Yeah, that's exactly what my face just did. That.
Wow. That is incredibly generous. Thank you for 500 bits, dude. Incredible timing. I'll be so much kinder to myself now. Thank you. Seriously. But like with this idea of like self-compassion, like you need to meet yourself like where things are. You know what, Rodgers? You know what? I'm trying to make a point here, okay? That is a really weird sound alert, though. I don't like that sound that plays with the bit alert, but I didn't have time to make it anything better.
I don't hear it because obviously you're muted on my end.
It's fine. It sounds like an alien. It sounds like an alien. Eel guy, thank you for the 2 salty biddies. It does sound like a UFO. But like, instead of being like when I have I am gonna have tomorrow off, allegedly. I do have like a 2-hour work meeting. Fucking fuck my life. But but like usually on my days off, I'm like, I want to use this to make a video. I want to use this to upgrade something on the stream. I want to do this to do X, Y, or Z. And then instead I like play a video game for like half the day and I just relax. And
dare you.
I know. And that's exactly what my brain says. It's like, did I have a great time doing that? Did I unwind? Absolutely. But then I stand up from my desk and I'm like, you piece of shit. Think of what you could have done. And I'm trying to change that mentality of like, you're not a piece of shit. You needed to not work more. You work at least 40 hours a week. You already stream twice a week. You're still trying to put out short form content. There's all this other stuff that's happening. Do you actually have it in you to edit for 5 hours and make this whole thing? Maybe you didn't. And it's okay to meet yourself where you're at and give yourself the things that you need rather than constantly pressuring yourself and setting yourself up for failure. And that's all I have to say about that.
It's a very valid and good point. I think we all share in that. I think most people share in that in some way. I think no one gives themselves a break when they really deserve to have a break. And I think that's just a part of like how society has like told us to treat ourselves, is that if we're not doing something, then we're a piece of shit.
That's definitely a Western society view for sure.
Totally.
Yeah.
I like what Pee Wee said here, and then I want to let Echo wrap it up because I think his final point on the outline is really, really important. What Pee Wee said was you pivoted instead of being like you're a piece of shit for not doing this. Instead, you pivoted on the fly to meet your emotional, mental, physical needs, whatever it was. It's not a failure. It's you reacting to what is actually important, and that's a really cool way of looking at it. I've never seen it framed that way.
Yeah, that's also, so piggybacking off of that, along with the point I wanted to make, is it's good to allow yourself to realize you have these mental stresses. It's okay to have like depressions and anxieties and things, and we need to normalize talking about that more. If you able to like work that out yourself, awesome. If you need to seek help, whether it's through a friend or a provider, do it. It'll make your life significantly better. I was for, I don't know, I'd say probably 14, 15 years, probably at this point. I was very good at just shoving stuff into that jar and just compressing it for so long. And it's finally built up within these last couple of years. Couldn't do it anymore. I started seeing uh, uh, cognitive behavioral therapist along with a mental health provider that'll recommend like different drugs and things. I'm very against like taking drugs for extended periods of time. And I was completely against that for a very long time. But then one of the providers I spoke to is like, well, this particular one that I want you to try is more about breaking down the foundation that you've already built so we can clean that up and then re-cement for a new foundation. And then once you have that foundation, you can start building. After you built, we can take you slowly back off those drugs, and then your mindset will be stronger for that, and then you can keep building. So if you're worried about like a drug substance type thing, or if you're worried about someone judging you or whatever, it's going to come out at some point, and it's okay. And it's people need to know that it's okay. So this
Not
coming
me.
from the bachelor's community psychology degree, currently going through all of this stuff.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm like crying and Pee-wee just, let's look at this house that Pee-wee
Yeah.
wanted to share with us.
my
Hold on.
God.
Timing is
Yo,
incredible.
390,000. Let's see. We got a.
Yeah.
Or sorry.
That's the screen.
425,000. 3
Why,
bedroom.
why is that screen? Why did that? Oh, I suck. I did the fucking screen thing again. I did it again. I'm so sorry.
Wait, did you do the beer right back thing?
No, I didn't do the beer right back. I went to my starting soon really quick because I thought I had set this to be my screen share scene.
So why are we looking at houses?
You know, I was wondering.
Is it because I talked about foundations?
Oh,
something like that. Pee-wee, are you buying a house? I'm not. I don't actually want to dox you, so we're just gonna.
Yeah.
I ruined the mood.
It was amazing. Never change. Never change. Anyways. Anyway, Echo almost had me crying there, so that Zillow link being posted was exactly what I needed. Oh my god. Wes, thank you for deleting that.
I think my favorite thing was just the fact that it was posted and then just the immediate text after was fuck.
I forgot I had something else copied when I tried to paste the love emotes. We've all been there. It's just amazing. And this is the kind of thing that can only happen
live.
Can only happen
This is
live.
why we do this.
Oh my god.
But to not discredit what Echo just said, yes, it's very important that you get things checked and you take care of yourself, and it's hard to push through to get that because. But it's better to check in than check out.
Yeah. Even if it's
Absolutely.
just to a friend just saying, "Hey, this is going on," just to vent a little bit, assuming you know them well enough.
They got the space for it, yeah.
Yeah, it's I know we were talking about the mental dump stuff and like being responsible early. If it's someone you know well enough, reach out.
I can't. I'm just still caught on the Pee-wee thing.
I would rather listen to your problems than your eulogy. Yeah, so true. I hope it never gets to that point for anyone.
Yeah.
If
Echo
I
needs a
can,
heart emote. I'm working on it.
you really do. if I can keep it a buck with y'all right now, and this is me trying to like initiate some accountability for myself, and I'm gonna do it live. We're gonna do it live. And this is advice for people as well, I guess. You know, not a doctor, not a professional, but I was in therapy for a while, and the fit was not good. I wasn't clicking with the therapist. I wasn't feeling like I mattered or that the advice I was getting was valuable. It wasn't doing it for me. So I stopped going. I ended that. That is okay. What was not okay was that I used that as like a mental excuse to not spend the effort and the energy to find a different resource and someone else to see, because I absolutely am still in need of it, and it's been on the back burner for me for 7 months now. So this is my accountability saying I need to find the right person to work with, but also don't just stick with something if it's not working.
Yeah, you also have to know that limit. If someone's not clicking, don't try to force something. That's only going to make things worse. It's basically going into a toxic relationship with a boyfriend, girlfriend.
Right.
If you just keep on doing the same thing with the same person that doesn't feel right, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to work. So you got to find the right person or medicine, I guess,
Right.
too.
Combination of the two. Yeah. I just know that Pee-wee posted to Zillowlink.com for fuck's sake. Print it on a t-shirt, ship it, send it, we're done. I'm buying that on GoDaddy.com right now. It's my new merch website.
Highlight of the night right there.
God, that was the timing.
It was the most immaculate timing, and that's why you do things live. Is because those random moments that happen are so special.
I literally had tears like welling up in my eyes because like Echo is like my oldest friend, and I'm just like I'm so proud of him, and I was like it was so heartfelt, and just like I was feeling a lot of feelings, and then it's just like Zillow.
You want to buy a house?
Like, by the way, here's a house. Like, you putting that permanent VIP badge to good use, Pee-wee. So thank you. Oh, fuck me. All right, my friends. I think it's time that we wrap this up. We're about at time, and I want to send a raid out. Rodgers is frozen. It's all over.
Damn, we did pretty good on time. We covered everything we wanted to. We're wrapping up, and everything's going surprisingly on point.
Surprisingly on point, except Rodgers has literally been frozen for like a minute.
That's okay.
It's fine. So Frozen Academy, the Frozen Academy. Oh my God.
Winter is coming.
He's gone. He's like straight up gone. Okay. Well, this is fine. So let me do some wrap up here. He yeeted. He's just like, oh, it's time to go. Also, I am the man 1% away from greatness. Is he back?
Hey, there he is.
Are you good?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can?
Where were you?
I was talking the entire time. You guys are like, he's gone. And I'm like, I'm here. I'm right here.
Oh, you were.
This was you. It was like you died. It was like you died in your chair. It was like.
Well, you know what? I don't want to do this no more.
I don't want. There you go. There he goes. Except he still froze.
He froze like halfway up.
Can't win.
Well, Rodgers is frozen on stream.com. Fuck you, Pee-wee.
Okay, let me do a nice clean. Let me do a nice clean wrap up for us, and we'll call it an evening. Don't fake being frozen, you person.
You freezer.
So obviously we record this in a live format, but the state of the stream is going to live on in permanence. This is something, and this is a promise. Spooky doesn't do nice and clean. See, now I can't do it. Now you read one chat message. It's all over. This will live on permanently. My plan is that I will have this uploaded at least to YouTube tomorrow because it should not be difficult, technical issues notwithstanding. The whole idea is that this will be on all your audio streaming services. This will exist on my YouTube page. And potentially there will be some other things that we pull from it as well. We want this to be a resource and something that people can refer back to and enjoy. So remember to, I don't know, like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Hi, YouTube. And then also join the Discord, follow us on social media. Both Echo and Rodgers can be found here, if I remember how to type. Drop them a follow as well. They gave up valuable time tonight. Echo and I typically stream together on Tuesdays, and actually the three of us will be streaming together on Tuesdays for the foreseeable future. But we've took that time to do this instead, and I'm grateful for it. This is fun. The conversation is really good. And it's fun to do just kind of a full conversation focused type of stream with no other interruptions other than my own brain misfiring as I read chat.
And that's why we're going to do this podcast every 2 days.
This is actually all we do now.
Yeah.
Squirrel. No, we're good. So with that, I hereby conclude the podcast.